23 rebounds.
On the diamond, the Mariners beat the A's 2-1 despite Oakland starting pitcher Mason Miller throwing a no-hitter through 7 innings. And the Giants took out the defending champion Astros with a little help from catcher Blake Sable.
First pitch to Blake, swung on, that ball's driven to left field. Julks back, looking up, it's off the wall. Peterson around third, he's going to score. Conforto cruises into third, the throwback into the infield, and Blake Sable allowed RBI double to make it 2-0 Giants.
Coming up on today's show, Kings color analyst Katie Christensen joins us at 8 a.m., followed by former King and current analyst Kenny Thomas at 9 from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And if you missed either of those 2 interviews, check them out later today at SactownSports.com. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Start the show by thanking scientists. Yes, scientists.
It's what's for dinner.
Not all of them. I woke up at like 2:30 this morning. I had one of those sword in the back of my head migraines, and I have this new medication I'm taking, and it's 90% gone now. Not the medication, the migraine. But the side effect on this is that I have a itchy scalp. Not itchy like scratching, but like tingly. Like they all have different side effects. You see it on the commercials where it's
side effects include.
Right, and a lot of them are like
itchy rash.
Right. I didn't see this one on the list, but I guess every body is different.
Now they can add it to the next commercial.
Some tinglies. It's I'll take tinglies. Tinglies are okay. Tingly scalp is okay.
Better than migraine.
A lot better than migraine. Good morning, Jason. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am good. I'm dried out. Why am I dried out? What I dry out from? My son's soccer game yesterday. Wow. That is a test of parenthood if there ever is one. Sitting on the sideline. Now, I like any good middle-aged man, I always keep an umbrella in my car no matter the season.
Okay.
So I had an umbrella, but of course my wife didn't bring an umbrella. So guess who got the umbrella? Of course.
You.
Yes. And I told her, I said, let this be a lesson to you. And then it started sprinkling a little bit. It's fine. We're on our little foldy chairs. And then it started raining. Let's huddle together. We're kind of looking at the side of our eyes at the other moms and dads. They didn't bring umbrellas. And, well, sucks for you. Prepare better. And then it started hailing.
Oh,
yeah. No. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I know the kids don't mind. You're in 8th grade. You're rolling around in the mud.
Yeah, they're having fun.
They're having a blast. Yeah, but like,
you're not.
And then I see lightning in the distance. And I'm like,
wrap it up.
Yeah, like
game over.
At what point do you pull the kiddos?
Can you see from the car if you went to the car?
See the game?
Uh-huh.
Funny you ask that because my daughter was with us too, and she went to the car. And then I ended up going into the car with her.
Did she bake some fish in the car?
Yes. Then she made a fish burrito. We actually drove the car. We circled around and we parked in a different spot. So we were facing, and then facing the field. And then I had it on whatever, where you can still do it's not on, but the electric still works. And we ran the wipers and watched the rest of the game. Big win for our team, but
let's go.
It got burly. I don't know how it was where you were.
Yeah.
But it got really burly.
I was in not the same situation, but similar. Chose the afternoon to get that walk in. Me and the J-Man were out there, and we were probably at the exact, what I would say would be halfway point of the walk.
Oh, no.
And it started to, it was drizzling to rain. And I'm like, oh, we're okay, but this isn't good. And then I could hear the thunderclaps, and I'm like, oh, man. We're about as far away from the house as we could be. We just kind of gotta.
You call it an Uber.
We just kind of gotta bear it, and went home. And it was to the point where I was so drenched that I was kind of cold to the bone.
Yeah,
and just it took a while to thaw out.
Well, so in those situations, I always find that it is actually
no umbrella, by the way.
No umbrella.
Yeah.
It's one of life's simple pleasures to me but you need a little bit of pain for the pleasure. Like when you're in that situation, whatever it may be, and you're super cold and you're cold to the bone, that sucks. However, I will always hop in the shower and just sit there for 20 minutes.
That's exactly what I did.
Is that what you did?
Yeah.
And then you put on some sweats.
Oh, that felt great.
And then it's just... And
it's actually like, this was pretty good.
Last night was potato cheese soup night. So
how'd that go?
Oh, it's just perfect.
Leftovers when you get home?
Oh, God.
Or is it too early?
I made a vat. Oh, when I get home. No. I will eat. Let's see. Today is Wednesday.
Because all you have is the bars, right?
Yeah, so that's all I've got.
Yeah.
Today is Wednesday. We ate it last night. I would say, let's see. If you go 3 meals a day that you normally eat, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, let's say that's 9 meals. I would say the over-under is 6.5 on potato cheese soup meals I will have between now and Wednesday. Because I just eat it all the time.
So you won't have something else tonight. You'll eat that again.
No, what I will do is I will
be part of it.
Right. I will go home and I'll have it as soon as I get home. Then I'll probably have it for snack. And then dinner time, the problem is not everybody else in my family is like that.
Yeah.
So they're going to want something else tonight, but it's my wife's turn to cook. So she can do that. Here's what it sounded like. This is going to be amazing audio. That's what it sounded like in my backyard last night.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I see the video. Was that hail or was it just really hard rain?
It was hail.
Okay, so to my knowledge, we didn't get that part. We got the rain, but
it was loud. It was obnoxious. It was very rude. And honestly, it was supposed to be just a little bit of rain yesterday.
Yeah.
Like a 40% chance of rain for like an hour.
Yeah.
Nope. You looked at those clouds. They were super dark. And
that I did see.
What do we got here? That was what I wanted to ask you. It was coming in today. So just bear with me. This is going to sound really bad at first, and I don't mean it this way. And then sometimes I get ideas of things I want to ask you guys when I come in. So, it's well known if you listen to the station that we have a number of unhoused individuals that are around the building.
Correct.
Okay. And this morning I came in, and you guys have done the same thing too, where sometimes, listen, it's chilly outside. They don't have heaters in the tents, so you get a little campfire basically, right? And so somebody is doing a campfire right now, and it made me think as I was coming in. I don't know about you guys. I think campfire is an amazing smell. I love campfire. I love the smell of campfire in the morning. And I started thinking, what are the most underrated smells? Everybody has an underrated smell.
Can I just say I really love how you turned the homeless situation into you? Can I say that's such low-hanging fruit, because I know it is, but it's still fruit. I even because you have so conditioned me to your assness. Wow.
That I did a whole disclaimer before that I normally.
So these disclaimers are now for me, not the listeners.
They're for you, because I'm like, I understand how this is gonna say. I did the whole thing, know it, and you still did it. And it's not about me; it's about good smells. Campfire's a good smell.
It's a great smell.
Bread in the morning, like 100%. A pizza place, I think is insane. But everybody has a smell that is unorthodox. For example, I like the smell of a tire store.
I like the smell of gasoline.
Gasoline. Okay, that's a good one. I don't hate the smell of gasoline, if I'm being honest with you. That's a good one.
I will tell you this. This is an odd one because it's got to be the right amount, as I have to be outside because that's a factor. I like just a tinge of cigarette or pipe smoke, like this. But like if it's too much, then it's too much. But like where you just get a hint of it, so that
interesting.
But not in a closed room. I don't like that.
So you have cigarette smoke, you have cigar smoke,
all those,
and then you have pipe smoke.
All
which is very sweet.
All
of them.
Just a little bit though, because there's a tipping point. I'm like, oh, that's.
I really enjoy the smell of Black and Milds.
Of what?
What is
Black
that?
and Milds? It's little baby cigars.
Oh, like the Swisher Sweet.
It's kind of, yeah, but it has a filter on it.
Did you have a grandpa, grandma, did you have somebody growing up that smoked?
Yeah.
Okay.
A pipe.
And so you wonder if maybe that's kind of a comfort feeling.
But just a tinge, though, because like for example, in a casino, it's a exactly.
Yeah.
Too much.
Even when I was a smoker, you go in a casino and your eyes water. It's like,
but just
do
like
that?
Someone smoking, but just a hint of it. I don't know. It's weird. It's a fine line.
Because baking and cookies, and like everyone likes popcorn. The smell of popcorn's a great smell. Some people hate the smell of popcorn.
The rain, like when it hits the pavement,
after it's been summertime for a long time or hot. Yeah,
just a little, like the first tint of rain. Yeah.
Hey, what's your favorite smell? 1-800-912-11. It's got to be an unorthodox smell.
Not a football locker room, by the way.
Nope.
Not a great smell.
Or baseball or basketball, for that matter.
I don't know that I've ever been in a locker room and be like,
football is really bad.
Yeah, football is
just.
I don't think there's a worse smell than a boys' high school locker room. Middle school might be a little worse.
The worst smell I've ever consistently been a part of was a junior high locker room. Yeah, that's right at that age where there's still a lot of kids that don't realize they stink yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rancid.
It's not me. It's you.
No, it's 100% you. We'll take a break. When we come back, how weird have the last couple of days been without any sort of Kings basketball, and how the heck are you staying sane? We got a lot to get to today, by the way. Kenny Thomas, Katie Christensen making their final appearances on the show forever. Not just till next year, but of the season. We'll get to all that right after this.
It was an amazing season for the Sacramento Kings. The coach of the year.
These honors don't come around often, and so you're very appreciative of them.
The clutch player of the year.
Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
And a return to the playoffs for the first time in 17 years.
16 seasons of frustration. Sacramento has clinched the playoffs.
Keep it on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com for all your Kings off-season news.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
There's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. And at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, we are proud to provide our best selection to get you there. Buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own report.
They bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
I will say this about my wife that I respect. She's truly a sports fan. Like she has sports on every evening. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. If it's the only sport on, she'll watch it. It could be the Angels versus the Rockies. And if that's the only thing on, she's watching it. And last night, it's NBA playoff basketball. She's watching the Knicks and the whoever's the Heat. And I found myself, it was my night, as I said, cooking dinner. So I'm in the kitchen. She's in there watching TV. I can see the TV and I'm watching it kind of over her shoulder, but it was like too soon kind of thing. And then the Lakers and Warriors game rolled around and I kind of locked in a little bit to that. A lot of hate watching.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I ran a poll yesterday, Jason Ross, because I figured out how I'm rooting for things. I ran a poll for Kings fans saying, hey, you got to root for one. So do you root for the Warriors or the Lakers? It surprised me a little bit. Over 3,000 votes. We got a good response. 57%. And that was down from 60 most of the poll. 57% said they're rooting for the Warriors in the series.
Okay.
I honestly, based on the polls we were doing during the series, who's got the more annoying fans, blah, 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 I thought the Lakers might win that one. But it's still tough to watch. I found myself, Jason, last night going, this could be game 1 Kings-Lakers.
That was to me, for me,
the
last hurdle. Like it hasn't been that long. It was Sunday. It's only Wednesday. But last night, I watched the whole game, and I was thinking, oh man, this could be a Golden One center. How would they do with the Lakers? I think they'd do well. Man, imagine the energy, the passion, the fire, all that. Just so I allowed myself to go there for a little bit. But then they really did say a lot of complimentary things about the Kings just in the broadcast. Well, they were taken to 7, and, this is already different than it was with Sacramento. And I'm like, okay, well, we're getting talked about. Hey, look at us.
We tired them out.
Yeah, but that also was hard to watch at times. And then I found myself, honestly, all over the board. I truly have no interest in who wins. But when the Lakers were winning, I was like, good for them. Take it to the Warriors. And then there's the 14-0 run by the Warriors at the end. I'm like, the Warriors are going to win this. You know what? Good for them. They're going to beat the Lakers.
Right.
I'm like, I want them both to lose. But I found myself kind of enjoying each team going through their thing in the game, like struggles.
Sure.
And in the end, Lakers won.
Win.
That was I think the hardest one to watch. After that one, I think I'll be good.
I found myself settling, Jason, on I would like the Warriors to win this series so that they could beat the Lakers, and then Laker fan can't say that the Lakers are better than the Kings. And then I'd like Denver just to sweep the Warriors.
Again, you don't know. I think each matchup is independent, but watching yesterday, I felt like this is the ceiling for either winner of the series.
Yeah.
That's what I felt.
Yeah.
I think they will lose to either Phoenix if they come back, which would be a great comeback, something they would have figured out, or Denver. I feel like the winner of that other series will get through.
Well, you and I won't say on the air, but you and I both know, have a friend in common, a good friend who is a diehard Kings fan. Jay, you know him too. And we were on the phone last night, and he actually brought up it was a really good thought exercise. He's like, I think I'm rooting for the Lakers. And I went, what? And he goes, yeah, I'm rooting for the Lakers. I go, why? And he goes, they're not hateable. I don't know these Lakers.
It's not the team they played this year, or really, it's nothing to do with the past.
It's like, I don't hate Anthony Davis. LeBron James is LeBron. He goes, Dennis Schroeder's kind of annoying.
Rob Pelinka's handsome.
I like Darvin Ham even when he played. Like, I like Jared Vanderbilt. He goes, I hate, they're fans, of course, and the memories. And Robert, he goes, they're not the same. Like, he goes, I can't stand Draymond Green, and Steph Curry's annoying. Klay Thompson always has this sour look on his face. And
the wound is fresh with the Warriors.
Yeah. And if 2000 whatever didn't exist, because we go back that far, but I mean, Warrior fans are still chirping. I'm still seeing it. They're still chirping at Kings fans. And Laker fan, and
I can see that.
He made me think for a second, because obviously we're all conditioned to want the Lakers to lose everything and not be. And I'm not saying any of that's changing. I'm just saying the Warriors. I think he's right. The Warriors, if you take the jerseys off, well, they'd all be topless. But if you take the jerseys away, I think the Warriors are far more hateable than the Lakers.
Yeah, and to me, as someone that supported the Kings for so long, the venom to me is Phil Jackson.
Yeah,
is Shaq.
Yes,
is Kobe, Fox, Fisher,
Horry.
Just, and then afterwards is like, well, I don't like anything associated with that team after that. But it's not. There's no real run-ins with Gasol.
No,
with some of the Odom,
and like all obviously for obvious reasons, like all my Kobe hate has gone away.
Sure, I mean,
for
horrific.
obvious reasons.
Who's the last for both of you guys, like, hateable Laker player? And of course, we always have to put this reference. It's more basketball hate. We don't hate the human being. Like, who's the last hateable Laker? Sasha Vujacic?
I'm trying to think. I feel like there's a good one that wasn't that long ago. I mean, for a while you like the Kobe Lakers were competitive for the most part, and then
but they were very like there's just a lot of players on the team that are just like, oh,
and then Kobe's passing, and all of a sudden it's like, all right, basketball side, we love you,
But I even found myself on obviously before the Kobe passing, like his final game, I was
rooting for Kobe.
I was too.
I couldn't believe that transformation because
Yes.
I can't remember. I think it was D'Angelo Russell who took like the one shot that Kobe didn't, and I wanted to strangle him.
I'm sure
Kobe mad at
Kobe.
D'Angelo Russell, but I wanted Kobe to shoot 1,000 times that game.
I'm sure Kobe wanted to strangle him too.
Oh, I know who the most hateable Laker was. Not D'Angelo. Who was
Nick Young?
Nick Young.
He bounced around him. He's just,
I know, not hateable, just annoying.
yeah. But like, there's nobody since those early 2000s teams. You're like, oh my god. Maybe Andrew Bynum Andrew Bynum was kind of he sucked. Like what he did in 11, that last year, they really had a decent run. To who's the little guard on the Mavericks?
Devin Harris?
No.
Terry?
No, it was JJ Barea.
Oh yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
He takes that cheap shot on Barea when the Lakers are going to lose. It's just like, then they trade him and he gets the stupid hair and never plays again. It's like, ugh.
That was my problem with it. I hate the Lakers and I hate Laker fans, just sports hate. And I know there's going to be some people out there. Now listen, all sports hate aside and all that, I'm not going to sit here and say because the Warriors took 700 threes last night that they should have had an even amount of free throws. But dude,
that was pretty jarring.
Having that kind of advantage on the road, number one. And then did you see the play where Anthony Davis and what's his face convinced him to change the foul call?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
What was it? Vanderbilt.
Jared Vanderbilt.
Not trying to bring up old stuff, but boy, was that officiating different than the Kings Warriors series.
Okay. Did anyone else this especially like the fourth quarter, like Steph Curry drive the lane, try his little flip, and Anthony Davis just packed it, and you're like, oh,
that's what you do.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm watching the Warriors fail at things, and I'm like, oh, you can do that? I didn't know you could do that. Oh,
the caveat is you have to have a player that can do it.
I did watch a couple times. I'm like, now I feel like I'm right back in the Kings series. I'm like, how are they not teeing up Draymond?
Right.
And then they ultimately did. There was 2 other sequences before. I'm going, you're going to let him yell at you like that?
The whole time. I mean, running across the court and doing the
gestures.
Jason Ross.
Dude, there was a over the back play. And Looney comes down and he hits LeBron in the back of the head. Not super hard, but enough that it's definitely a foul. They blew that whistle so fast. I'm like, man, Domas has a lump in the back of his head.
Right, exactly. Well, think about it. I'm just waiting for Looney think about it. With what Domas went through, how long is it until Anthony Davis is out for the rest of the year for a crotch stomp or whatever the hell, elbow to the have Anthony Davis' eye get elbowed.
Or just a legal screen set.
Right. We'll take a break. When we come back, safe or out, Trevor Bauer, Mason Miller, and there's a funny story behind this. And bye-bye to a longtime Giants catcher. We'll go through the memories next.
It's Cattles and Rami.
That's right. He's got his shirt on, ladies and gentlemen. It's a Sacramento Kings shirt. Let's go. Oh, Boston boy. Let's go. Boston Nick got out the Kings shirt. Look at that. Let's go. You went out and spent money on that too, didn't you?
No.
Oh.
But let's go.
Cattles and Rami, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course is Sacramento's #1 course for fun. Players love Bartley Kavanaugh's fun design and great mixture of holes. Near the banks of the Sacramento River, Bartley Kavanaugh's moderately sized greens and generous fairway landing areas make for an affordable and fun round of golf. Bartley Kavanaugh offers a great pro shop, help planning your tournament or wedding, and a relaxing outdoor veranda for a cold beverage or a tasty meal. For tee times, visit BartleyKavanaugh.com. It's Sacramento's #1 course for fun.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. Spring officially here. And with the long, cold, and rainy winter behind us, I'm sure you're counting the days until summer. But don't wait until it's hot to make sure your air conditioner is working efficiently and, most importantly, safely. Get ahead of the problem with a $49 AC tune-up from American Energy Heat and Air. There's nothing worse than your air conditioner going out when it's hot outside. Get a tune-up today and make sure you and your family are comfortable and cool in your home for the hot summer months that are right around the corner. Give them a call, 916-520-9990, or schedule your appointment online at AmericanEnergyAir.com. Better Business Bureau A+ rating. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. Easy, convenient payment options, same as cash, low monthly payments through financing partners. What do you need? 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
It's a new era of entertainment at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. See the incredible rock band, the Black Crowes, live at The Venue on Saturday, May 6th. Tickets are on sale now at ThunderValleyResort.com.
When you hear the words, the whole store is on sale, if you're like me, you're thinking, this is worth my attention. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word or two about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Right now, Naturewood's whole store is on sale during their exceptional home sale. Now your mind is probably doing backflips trying to decide where to start. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Or maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, or accents and accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide home sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stickley, Artisan Home, Stanton, Flex Steel, Omnia, and all the rest of our award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable home sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. Good morning with your Sactown Sports headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The NBA playoffs continued last night with the New York Knicks tying their series with the Miami Heat after a 111-105 Game 2 victory. That series moves to Miami Saturday, where the Heat hope to have Jimmy Butler back from an ankle injury. The game of the night, though, was on the West Coast, as for the first time since 1989, the Warriors and Lakers matched up, with LA getting a big Game 1 win on the road.
117-112. LeBron James, 22 and 11. Anthony Davis, 30 points, 23 rebounds.
On the diamond, the Mariners beat the A's 2-1 despite Oakland starting pitcher Mason Miller throwing a no-hitter through 7 innings. And the Giants took out the defending champion Astros with a little help from catcher Blake Sable.
First pitch to Blake, swung on that ball's driven to left field. Jolks back, looking up. It's off the wall. Peterson around third. He's going to score. Conforto cruises into third. The throwback into the infield. And Blake Sable allowed RBI double to make it 2-0 Giants.
Coming up on today's show, Kings color analyst Katie Christensen joins us at 8 a.m., followed by former King and current analyst Kenny Thomas at 9 from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And if you missed either of those two interviews, check them out later today at SactownSports.com. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
I was going to play the video clip, but I honestly don't know if it's FCC legal or not. So when in doubt, throw it out, they say.
That's what they say.
Yesterday was the, I don't know what, 7th, 8th anniversary. Have you ever seen the video? I don't know where it was. It was like Alabama, Arkansas, somewhere in the Midwest or South. It was like a small town city council meeting, and it was 100% Naked Gun. The guy leaves his mic on, gets up, uses the facilities.
Yeah.
Just obviously drank a lot of water that day. And then I think the best part was somebody had notated that as soon, and then the poor lady, I think she was the mayor, was trying to carry on and couldn't, and they're just all laughing. And then they pointed out that, you hear the toilet flush, industrial toilet flush. And he just comes like no hand washing, just comes right back in. Good to
I'm
go.
a man of the people.
Yeah. Anyways, a lot of hand washing last night in Major League Baseball. Let's go with it. Safe or out with Jay Mars. Starts now.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Hi, Jay.
Hi, Jay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Safe or out or safe? I don't know.
I prefer safe or out. It rolls off the tongue better.
Yeah, I think so.
Personal preference. Anyhow, Trevor Bauer was victorious last night in his first game in 22 months. Safe or out, if Bauer has a good season in Japan, a return to MLB next year will be on the table.
I think safe. There's just too much money involved. It's professional sports. Someone will hide behind the whole he was never convicted. He served his time. There'll be a big hullabaloo, scandal, Travis Schumachery. And then, if Trevor Bauer.
Or is it Trevor Schumachery?
Yeah, that one. Thank you, Trevor Schumachery. That's very good. Listen, if Deshaun Watson can Deshaun Watson, Trevor Bauer can Trevor Bauer. And let's not compare their transgressions, please. But the point is, if you're good enough, 99% of the time, baseball, not only baseball franchise, or should I say sports franchises, but sports fans.
99% of the time, you quote unquote learn your lesson.
Yeah, they'll find a way.
Yeah, what's weird is I know you just said let's not compare transgressions, but I feel like that's interesting that sometimes someone gets punished for something that I think a lot of people go, well, I think that other thing was worse.
Yeah, right. Like,
why did that person get another opportunity?
Or that person, at least, like, there was real, actual convicted wrongdoing, or whatever it is.
But to your point, I think it's safe too. I think he gets an opportunity because can he throw? Yeah, he's a former Cy Young Award winner. He doesn't need everybody to want him. He just needs a team,
right?
And someone to go. Yeah, you know what? We need an extra arm. We need him. We need his talent. I think this is his chance to rehab his game, not necessarily his image, and then get back in the game.
So safe or out?
Yeah, safe.
All right.
That's a couple of safes. Number 2.
A's rookie Mason Miller had a no-hitter through 7 innings, but was pulled after 100 pitches. A's manager safe or out. A's manager Mark Kotze should have left him in the game.
So funny story here. As I was watching, I think it was Lakers was on, and Kyle Madsen texts me. He goes, "Hey, I heard your guys' Mason Miller slander. What are you talking about?" And yesterday during Let's Go Streaking, which, by the way, I've not checked the box score. I don't know. I said I'm going to pick, anyone in Major League Baseball and then anyone playing the A's, because they stink. And then, here's Mason Miller with a 6.84 ERA or whatever. So what happens? He's got a no-no through 7. So 7th inning ends. He's got 100 pitches in front of tens of people.
The dozens and dozens of A's fans that filled the Coliseum.
I mean, I know that it's old hat to put pictures out. I don't know if any of you guys saw pictures yesterday.
Oh, I saw.
Like, for real, I think there might have been 1,000 people there.
I counted 27.
It was ridiculous. But they have an opportunity to see history. One of the most difficult things to see in sports. The odds of you seeing a no-hitter are so minuscule. And he gets pulled after the 7th at 100 pitches. I kind of tip on one hand, I'm like, give the fans what they want. But on the other hand, listen, they've got to get something of value for this guy, and they can't if he's on the injured list. Mark Kotze has a responsibility, and that is to keep him as healthy as possible for when they trade him for 4 minor league players to be named later.
And we all know if you pitch 30 more pitches after that, it's instant DL.
Arm falls off.
Yep.
IL, not DL.
DLI.
Yeah. So DYI. I'm going to say out because I get it. I understand why Kotze pulled him.
I don't.
Yeah.
I want the no-hitter. So does Mason Miller.
Yes.
Mason Miller, he can't talk his way back in like, who was that? Lackey to Mike Scioscia years ago. Like, let me go. Let him pitch. Let him pitch.
His arm's just a big spaghetti noodle at the end. But he gets a no-hitter. That's true.
I think he would take the spaghetti noodle for a no-hitter. Don't you think? Yeah. In his career, will he be in this position ever again? I'm going to say no.
I don't think so.
Also, it's Major League Baseball. It's the A's. They have the worst record. Sit him out for a start then. Bring up, Colitis Buchanan from AAA and let him throw for 4 innings. Who cares?
Yeah, Colitis Buchanan.
I'll give Kyle a little bit more credit though. I said, do they keep him in? You know, this is right after the 7th inning. Do they keep him in? And he goes, there's no way they're going to keep him in because that's what the fans would want. This has a bully giving up a 3-1 victory to the Mariners written all over it. Mariners, to be fair, end up winning 2-1.
Of course they did.
And the guy who took the loss, his name is Richard Lovelady. Now, if you think about it for a second,
Dick Lovelady,
that could be quite the name. Number 3.
Safe.
Safe or out.
Former All-Star Gary Sanchez officially opted out of his minor league deal with the San Francisco Giants, leaving Joey Bart and Blake Sabol as the only healthy Giants catchers on the 40-man roster. Safe or out, one of these two guys is going to win the job outright by season's end.
Well, I think the first question for Giants fans is, let's talk about Sanchez. Did he do him dirty? Secondly,
where's Buster?
Is that safe? Thank you.
Yeah.
Where is Buster?
He's in the booth.
Yeah, one of them will, and I think it's going to be Joey Bart just because they have so much invested in Joey Bart. That's why, because Joey Bart's the golden goose right there, the high draft pick. They're going to lean towards him as much as possible.
It feels like they're just going to keep doing what they're doing and just playing I don't know. They have not established this in shame, not shame on, but either Bart, the franchise, this was the guy.
Yes.
This was supposed to be the guy, and he has proven to not be that. And look, if you're going to compare him to Buster, maybe that's unfair, but can he be an everyday guy that's in the lineup that you count on? He hasn't been.
It's also
frustrating.
Seems like he gets injured.
That's true.
Like he just got back from injury. I think Sabol's bat is decent, but behind the plate, he's a mess.
Yeah, he had the game winner, it was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but Sunday, did you see him by the plate? Oh, my God.
Bart's batting 275.
How many games has he played this year?
14.
Okay, yeah.
He's 11.
He hasn't hit a home run, right?
Has not hit a home run, has not driven in a run.
Wow.
He has scored 4 runs. He's 11 for 40. Hey, 11-40.
Hey. Sporty Joey Bart.
Yeah. Joey
Sactown
Bart.
Joey Bart Sports. Am I right?
And he would catch the pictures of Logan Webb yesterday. Yeah, it looks like he lost a bet to Mauricio Dubon. Or to somebody. Logan Webb and Dubon were talking at the batting cage, and Logan Webb was sporting a backwards hat and a fresh Steph Curry jersey.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Rockland's Logan Webb. To be clear, for those who don't know,
that's gross.
Logan Webb's a diehard Kings fan. That's a bet. Somebody made a bet, and it might have been somebody on his own team, too, considering that he's a fish out of water in San Francisco.
I'm sorry, Logan.
Yeah, Logan Webb might be on the IL for 15 days for burnt skin or something. It just had to melt off with that dumb jersey on.
Hey, shocking. A Giant took an L this year.
He enjoyed that a little too much.
I think he did, too.
Why? I was just pointing out a simple fact.
You know what? The title of today's show should be low-hanging fruit. He started that way. He's just.
What am I doing wrong? I don't feel like it was that low.
Kick the Giants when they're down.
On the ground.
I don't kick the Giants when they're down. I just point out that they're down.
MVP voting came in yesterday. Congratulations to the MVP winner. If you don't know who it is, that's a good tease. We'll carry through the break. And, not one, but 2 Sacramento Kings did something no one else in the NBA did when it came to that MVP voting. We'll talk about it next.
Sactown Sports is Sacramento's new home for the San Francisco 49ers.
It feels awesome. We deserve this. Let's go, Niners!
Purdy.
Purdy going to throw, and it is Kittle in the back of the end zone.
Samuel.
Debo 10. Debo. Touchdown!
And McCaffrey.
Touchdown! CMC!
They all live here on Sactown Sports.
Your official home for 49ers football.
Great team. Where's the defense? Defense! Okay, everyone take a break. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store, asking, when is something too good to be true? when it probably is. And had I not experienced it for myself, this spectacular season would definitely qualify as too good to be true. So everyone out there in radio land, continue to enjoy. Something else that could seem too good to be true is Good Feet Arch Supports. But trust me, I've experienced firsthand the comfort, balance, and support possible with Good Feet Arch Supports. And so have countless others who have pretty much given up hope. It's time you felt good again. Take your feet to the Good Feet store for a free personalized arch support fitting and test walk. Experience for yourself the comfort, balance, and support missing in your life. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville, online at goodfeet.com.
Selling your home can be stressful. Scott Marsh here to tell you about Bridgehaven Homes. They are a local home buying company that offers homeowners an easier way to sell their home. Let Shane and his team at bridgehavenhomes.com take that stress away. Bridgehaven Homes gives you an all-cash offer for your home, no matter what the condition, within 24 hours. You pick the date you wish to close and sell on your terms. No repairs, no showings, and no realtor commissions. Call 916-299-6040 or bridgehavenhomes.com.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. It's normal. With CalHope's free and secure mental health resources, it's easy to get the help you and your loved ones need when you need it the most. Call our warm line at 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org. Today, Jiffy Lube's Country in the Park, Northern California's biggest country music festival of the year, is back this weekend at Cal Expo, starring Lady A,
Hey, bartender,
Chris Young,
I've got some famous friends.
Brett Eldridge,
Oh, what you doing, baby? Don't you? Don't you?
and so many more. Plus a Boost Line Dance Saloon, interactive lounges, and Sacramento's best food trucks. Weekend passes start at just $80. Tickets are on sale now at SactownSports.com. Country in the Park, brought to you by International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 340, and Stonies of Rock and Rodeo.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to three key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Sacramento area attorneys. 500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. CordellCordell.com.
When they're investigating, we can't stop watching. This month on BritBox, sit back, relax, and enjoy watching the detectives. Discover Britain's most bingeable mysteries, including the brand new season of Grace, the hit series based on the books by best-selling author Peter James. Unwind with the detectives you could watch all night long. Stream them all now exclusively on BritBox. Endlessly intriguing. Start your free trial at BritBox.com.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
I want to make sure my mic was off during that break. I'm like that council member. Congratulations to Joel Embiid. It was his turn to win the MVP.
Is that how it went?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it sucks. I like Joel Embiid. I don't like him as much since he started playing with James Harden and became a free throw hunter, but I do like Joel Embiid. Just hard to That's not hard. I understand the argument for Embiid over Jokic. I just didn't like the whole MVP thing this year was just kind of lame. Just the campaigning, the media infighting. It really became a battle of analytics, numbers, stats versus eye test.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, Nikola Jokic his team had the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. And offensively, he was just ridiculous. I mean, Embiid led the league in scoring. It's not like he's any slouch and is obviously a better defender. I understand the arguments. I know there was one voter, can't wait to see who, that left Embiid or Jokic out of the top 5.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
It's like, turn in your credentials, dude.
Right.
So, but for Embiid, who did not pick up basketball until relatively late in life, compared to, most that have been playing since they were kids. And Joel Embiid's a great personality. He's a good story. This is a kid that traveled a little, in his life. He's seen some things. He's been through some stuff. And also, by the way, I think it's okay because sometimes we forget. This is a guy that was, I believe, picked 3rd in the Sam Hinkie days, who was a huge risk. Didn't play I think basically his first 2 years.
Correct.
And a lot of people thought it was a wasted pick, and now he's the most valuable player in the NBA. So that's a good story.
Was the process trusted enough there?
I mean,
did we officially trust it, and this is where we get to, or do they have to win the title?
I love the conversation.
Yeah. Or is that all gone now?
Listen, Joel Embiid is the alpha and omega of that team. James Harden certainly is a huge part of it, and there's other pieces around it. I think one thing that's interesting to look at is, for all the things the process did, again, this is why you can make an argument that Danny Ainge is the greatest GM of all time. I still go back to the fact that the Philadelphia 76ers paid them for the right to have the Celtics pick Jason Tatum and the Sixers to pick Markelle Fultz.
Yeah.
Like that in itself, when you look at that, how much different would the Sixers be with Jason Tatum?
Yeah. And think about it, it was Simmons, Fultz, and also Embiid, and Fultz and Simmons are long gone.
Right. And Simmons was a 1 pick, Fultz was a 1 pick, Embiid was the 3 pick that had the troublesome injury situation. So good for them, good for him. Domas Sabonis. We had said early on the show, very proud of this. We had said, hey, could he end up getting some top 10 votes? He finished 7th. I actually thought he'd be closer to 6th or 5th. But
I thought he'd be 5th, honestly, but that's fine. 7th is great. Great acknowledgement.
Yeah, I'm not upset about that at all. And De'Aaron Fox got a couple of 5th place votes, which is fantastic.
I think if I remember right, are they the only to have 2 teammates?
They're the only team in the NBA with 2 teammates getting MVP votes, which is great. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander ended up finishing 5th. Jason Tatum 4th. Tatum got 1/3 and 89 fourth place votes. I think they did that right there. Giannis in 3rd at 606 total points behind Nikola Jokic, who had 15 first, 52 second, 32 third, 0 fourth, 0 fifth. He had 674 points. And then Joel Embiid in what would amount to a landslide, 73 first place, 25 second place, 2 thirds, 0 fourth, 0 fifth. 915 total votes. Jokic nearly became the first center and only the 3rd player ever to average a triple-double. He finished with 24.5 points, 11.8 boards, 9.8 assists. He shot 63% from the field. He would have just become the 4th player in NBA history to win 3 straight MVP awards, joining Larry Bird, who was the last player to do it, starting in 84, Bill Russell, and Wilt Chamberlain. But Joel Embiid, at 29 years old, led the NBA in scoring for a 2nd straight year, improved his efficiency to go along with 10.2 boards, 4.2 assists, and 1.7 blocks. 3rd season straight now as center. Remember, the center position's dead.
Yeah, it's dying, right?
A center has won the award. You could argue Giannis is basically a de facto. I know Lopez, but Giannis could very easily be a center as well.
He play a lot of positions, but the top two have been those center positions for the last couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, listen, a couple of Kings.
Yeah.
Some MVP votes.
And I don't know in the future if they, cancel each other out. Who knows? But in this case, I'm glad they got their recognition. I'm happy for Embiid. I have nothing against him. It's a cool honor. It makes you think about how it's really difficult to win the MVP. There's so many great players.
Yeah. I mean,
there'd be a lot of great ones that don't win the MVP.
The league is in very good hands. I saw the stat yesterday. I thought that was interesting. Steph Curry in 2013 had his first playoff appearance. He finished 11th in MVP voting, and he lost to four-time champion Tim Duncan. De'Aaron Fox had his first playoff appearance this year. He finished 11th in MVP voting, and he lost to four-time champ Steph Curry. So, basically, it's the start of a dynasty.
Okay. I like that. Sign up for that today.
Yeah, exactly. After winning MVP last night, this is according to Shams Charania. This just came across the wire. During a quick Sixers celebration, Joel Embiid turned to the team and said, quote, "I'm back." He is on track to return tonight in game 2 of against the Celtics, barring setbacks.
Okay.
That is from Shams Charania. And that is an interesting series in itself. We'll get to the other series here in just a second. But whether we look tonight at that or we can go either way here, Jason. Switching back to the Kings real quick. This obviously you don't get any extra wins, and you don't win the playoff series for having two MVP candidates.
Right.
But it does certainly tell you that the Kings have a fantastic two-man core to build off of, and all signs point to Domantas Sabonis getting a max extension at the end of next year. There's no indications he'll go anywhere. The Kings would want him to go anywhere. So they're in very good hands when you add in Keegan Murray and the others. This is a good core to build off of.
For sure. And I think they love that tandem. We're going to play some audio from Mike Brown's kind of exit interview a little bit later in the show. Just the stuff he says about Fox really got my attention. I thought, he said it basically all year, but just what he said about him. And I know he feels the same way about Sabonis. And Sabonis, they just fit well together, those two. And I like that they really seemingly like each other a lot too and appreciate one another. So this team's in a good spot.
It's not an exact for exact, but you kind of get the feeling too that Vlade looks at this team right now and he goes, that's what I wanted out of Bagley.
Yeah.
This is the Fox. It's like, and this isn't me saying he shouldn't have picked Luka, but when you try to understand Vlade's thinking, it was Fox needs to have the ball in his hands, and he needs an athletic big down low. Now, obviously, Bagley's not the playmaker that Sabonis is. It's a completely different thing. But I think Vlade always felt like Fox needed to be the alpha and the omega. And by the way, good for him too, because you know what? If he does draft Luka Doncic, and maybe the Kings are in a better spot sooner, but if he does draft Luka Doncic, you got to think De'Aaron Fox is off this team many years ago. We'll take a break when we come back. All right, last night, playoff action. Lakers dubs, Knicks Heat. We'll look at that next.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Sacramento area attorneys. 500
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Wednesday is going to start out pretty cool, so grab the layers. Heading into the afternoon, we'll see a mix of sun, clouds, maybe an isolated shower today. Highs peaking in the upper 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
As a roofer, I don't have time to fail. Homeowners rely on me, so I rely on Beacon. Beacon's unique network of branches work together to get me what I need when I need it. Every branch working together. And with the new Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips. Now through June, purchase online with Beacon Pro Plus, web or app, and earn up to $1,500. Beacon, always building.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
Ace fans need Friday night plans? Well, we got you covered. Get 4 tickets and parking for any Friday night game starting at just $49 with the Friday 4-pack presented by Chevrolet. Save big and enjoy great matchups, post-game fireworks and drone shows, giveaways, and more this 2023 season.
He drills one to right, way back, and no doubt, and that quickly the A's have taken the lead. Second deck.
Friday night tickets are available at athletics.com/value. That's athletics.com/value.
Get to Acura of Stockton, where precision crafted performance is at your fingertips. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. And right now, lease a new Acura TLX, MDX, or Integra with low lease rates available. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street. Right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, movie fans, the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento is now serving adult beverages. Playing this week, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, an IMAX 2D and 3D experience.
It's time to save the universe. Let's give the galaxy something to remember us by.
See Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 on the largest screen in Sacramento. Visit IMAX.com/Sacramento for tickets and reserved seating. Select showtimes in 3D. Plus, join the free IMAX Directors Club to receive special member pricing on tickets and more at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Feel and hear the power of America's muscle cars and more at the Trans Am Speed Fest, May 5th through 7th at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. Enjoy the open race panic and be immersed among the teams. From the top of the corkscrew to the bottom of turn 1, it's 3 days of racing thrills for the whole family. For tickets, call 831-242-8200. That's 831-242-8200. Or visit WeatherTechRaceway.com. The Trans Am Speed Fest,
May 5th through 7th at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca in Monterey.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the flagship station of your Sacramento Kings.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good morning with your Sactown Sports headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The NBA playoffs continued last night with the New York Knicks tying their series with the Miami Heat after a 111-105 Game 2 victory. That series moves to Miami Saturday, where the Heat hope to have Jimmy Butler back from an ankle injury. The game of the night, though, was on the West Coast, as for the first time since 1989, the Warriors and Lakers matched up, with LA getting a big Game 1 win on the road.
117-112. LeBron James, 22 and 11. Anthony Davis, 30 points, 23 rebounds.
On the diamond, the Mariners beat the A's 2-1 despite Oakland starting pitcher Mason Miller throwing a no-hitter through 7 innings. And the Giants took out the defending champion Astros with a little help from catcher Blake Sable.
First pitch to Blake, swung on, that ball's driven to left field. Julks back, looking up, it's off the wall. Peterson around third, he's going to score. Conforto cruises into third, the throwback into the infield, and Blake Sable allowed RBI double to make it 2-0 Giants.
Coming up on today's show, Kings color analyst Katie Christensen joins us at 8 a.m., followed by former King and current analyst Kenny Thomas at 9 from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And if you missed either of those two interviews, check them out later today at SactownSports.com. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
1-800-920-1140. Playoff basketball last night. It's a good game. No Jimmy Butler. And it looks like Miami might take this one again, go up 2-0. Jalen Brunson said no.
Brunson to the foul line. Leaner gets it. 30 points. Jalen Brunson with under 3 to go. First 30-point game for any Knicks so far in these playoffs.
Tom Thibodeau coaches the team to a big victory behind Josh Hart's clutch corner 3.
Probing Vincent, foul line extended, down the lane. Randall, stiff arm, double to Hart, corner 3, knocks it down. Josh Hart, arms to the sky. Another huge fourth quarter 3.
1-1 in that series, Jason Ross.
Yes.
1-800-920-1140 is your phone number. AC, good morning.
Hey, gentlemen, thanks for working today.
Hey, thank you for listening today.
I have to admit, I'm addicted to the YouTube and the YouTube chat. I can't get enough of it.
Oh, the chatters are
What are they saying today?
Yeah, they're all over the place today. Where's MC, by the way?
It's just more fun to watch you guys and the little nuances that you don't see on the radio, of course. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Well, we appreciate it.
I wanted to. Did you guys hear about the Malik Monk? The Malik Monk comment and how the Warriors use that as a bulletin board piece of material? Did you guys hear about that?
Yeah, I did, and I thought that whole thing was kind of weird.
I know, it's just kind of interesting because NBA players, I'm sure any professional athlete will try to downplay the use of bulletin board material, but I think it exists. And look at Dennis Schroeder. He's a good example of what to do versus what not to do with the young Kings. He puts out a tweet about his own teammate and how he had a great game, whereas Monk, and I love Malik Monk, he's got every right to be brash, but he put out, his own comment about how they were running around the Warriors, and the Warriors took it personally, and they used it as a rallying cry. Anyway, just wanted to point that out that, maybe it's not a good idea to tweet until the series is over.
Yeah, and honestly, thank you, AC. We've asked Kevin Huerter, we've asked players about bulletin board material. I do agree with AC that I think sometimes you look for reasons to be offended, but also, I don't know, at that level, do you need motivation?
I don't think so. It was game 7. It sounded like Steph gave a pretty good speech from what you hear. I don't know that they used anything that was there, but I think when you're in the process, if you're the Warriors, of winning, I'm reminding Malik Monk of that, right?
Yeah.
I think some people are. I mean, you saw Steph do the beam gesture at the end of the game. I mean,
that.
it's, they won the series. They had the last laugh, no matter what the Kings say or think or felt like if they should have advanced, they didn't. It's the Warriors that have moved on.
I saw a Kings affiliated, but Kings fan Twitter account yesterday after the Lakers beat Golden State, and they took their own picture they'd used on us, and they put the L beam on top of Chase Center. And I got to be honest. Listen, when you're in Cancun, you probably shouldn't be.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying,
right?
Like they beat us.
Yeah, and are you going to do that like if the Warriors were to advance past the Lakers and then lose a game to Denver or Phoenix or the final? Like,
it just seems kind of small.
They won.
Although there was one after Game 7 I thought was great. It was the beam, but it went limp.
I mean,
even I got a chuckle out of that. I'm like, okay, that's creative.
Yeah.
I did not have limp beam on my meme card.
No.
Was that at the Applebee's?
Yes.
Good 90s, man.
Limp beam.
LeBron James was doing his thing yesterday.
James playing 5-on-4. There he goes. LeBron buries a 3. Missed his first 4. Knocks down his first 3-pointer of the game, and LeBron's got 15.
It was, I think, a 14-0 run the Warriors went on to come back and tie, capped by this Steph Curry 3-pointer.
Throws to Draymond, back to Curry, relocation 3 is up, and good! He was backing away to the sideline, flipped it up and in. We are tied!
Didn't matter. Lakers went on to win the ball game. They go up 1-0. Kings fans can take pride. Maybe we tired them out a little bit. Steve Kerr kind of spoke to that.
I thought we were the fresher team down the stretch. You saw the run we made. They decided to play their guys the whole fourth quarter, and I understood that decision. They've had more rest, so they're thinking, push the envelope and play their starters in the fourth. And I thought, the last 4 minutes, we were the team with more energy. Just couldn't quite get over the hump, but our guys made an incredible comeback to tie it, and they made a couple plays at the end.
I know their team, speaking of them, the Warriors have all said, we have no problem with the final attempt by Jordan Poole. Steve Kerr is the one that elected to have him in. Poole was actually having a pretty good game off the bench. 6 assists, 21 points. But boy, is that a target for a lot of people as far as the way that game ended.
Yeah, because they want to see Steph take that shot.
Right.
And here's the bottom line.
It's okay if he does, right?
It's absolutely okay. They'll live with that. Here's the deal. If you watched the Lakers on defense, Steph couldn't have taken that shot. Right. They absolutely doubled down on him. They tried. They tried to get him the ball, and he freed up, obviously, to do his thing. But towards the end there, when they inbound, there was no chance for Steph to take the shot.
Much like Game 4, where I think that everything was designed for Fox, lost that dribble, Draymond doubles, throws to open Harrison Barnes. Now, Poole was open. My argument would be, like, he was pretty deep. He could have taken a step in or two, but he also can make that shot. But
did you catch Darvin Ham on the floor at the end of that? Darvin Ham was about a foot away from Jordan Poole. He was clearly on the floor when Poole took the shot, motioning. And, not that I want to see anything called there. It's a little weird sometimes that they let those, it's like lane violations. They just kind of let that go. There was a lot of reaction to Jordan Poole's shot, including the TNT companion broadcast with Channing Frye, Taylor Rooks, Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese liked the shot. Channing Frye did not. And he probably had the line of the night here.
What?
Oh, my God. He can't be
Ain't
serious.
No way. Taylor, what's wrong with that shot, guys? What's wrong with that shot? Hold on now. Can I see it again?
Who's
Can
taking it?
Where did he take that from? What do you want to do? Take a dribble? Doc, there's 10 seconds left in the game. But what if you're not going to get a better shot than that? You gonna be this. Look at this. No contest. Look at this. I'm sorry. I'm cool if I'm going straight. He's shooting where Darvin Ham is. Get off the Henny.
I cannot.
No way. Come on. No way.
I mean,
Jose.
sick if they lose this one, which
they're gonna. You know what that is? That's analytics. You think because he
don't
can
like that
shot? Not one bit. He don't like that shot.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jordan was like, I had the high hand. I was having a good game. I'm not
mad at that shot. He's wide open, dog. From that far away with 10 seconds, and you have an advantage. I'm shooting it if I'm Jordan. So I feel you, Jordan. I would have shot that too. That's why you're here with us.
That's pretty funny. He had to get off the Henny. That's why you're here with us.
Channing fried him. That was nice. Yeah, that was. I'm going to side with Halliburton a little bit here. Here's why. Jordan Poole is cooking. He's got it. Jordan Poole's made that shot many times. And the whole 9 seconds on the clock, I understand that. I do. I get that. But here's the thing. Yes, you potentially leave time on the clock for the Lakers. But I'd like to be in that position where you have the lead and you have to leave it to your defense, number one. Number two, you could say, well, you have time to find a better shot. But maybe you don't, and he was wide open. Number three, you miss that shot. There's probably, I'd say, a coin flip chance that you're getting the offensive rebound, and you have time to do something else as well. And if it goes in, he's a hero. It's a great shot, blah, blah, blah.
I don't know how to do this as a comp for the Kings, and maybe my comp in my head, and this could be unfair, is Buddy Hield, but that's the person I'm thinking of. I know a few Warrior fans, and throughout the year, I know how they've talked about Jordan.
Yeah.
Like Buddy Hield.
Yes.
And there's good there.
Yeah.
And there's bad there. Late in the game, there was a rebound that Jordan Poole kind of needed to get that went out of bounds. Yeah. The Laker ball. Like the gestures that Draymond Green was making was like, and I know take away him punching him earlier in the year. It was like, that dude did it again. Was my read of what Draymond was doing. And so, like, I'm not even going to say if Steph took it, everybody would be cool with it. If Clay took it, everybody would be cool with it. I get the feeling, let me not even put those two out there because of their history. I feel like if DiVincenzo took it, it'd be like, it's open.
Sure.
But it was Jordan Poole. And I don't know how to explain that difference, but I feel like they like him. They respect him, but they also go like, Jordan.
He's kind of, every team has a scapegoat. And
he's that guy. And if for good or bad, like, what's he doing, man? And it's like, yeah, he can make that.
Did you think, I don't know if you guys caught Steph after the shot, putting his head down and just kind of like, I don't know, did he put his head down? He's like, damn, man, we missed that. Or damn, Jordan, why'd you take that?
That's how I took it. And I could be wrong, but that's my read on what, based also on other Warrior fans that are kind of sink or swim with Jordan Poole.
Well, hey, listen, the good news is that his extension kicks in next year, and over the next 4 years, he's owed about $170 million.
That's great news.
Imagine paying that for Jordan Poole and the Kings get Malik Monk on what is like maybe one of the best deals in the NBA.
Yeah, exactly. We'll take a break. When we come back, 3 for Madness time. Chris Paul, Dylan Brooks, and let's take a high look from 50,000 feet at those second-round playoff games. We'll do that next.
Are you ready to hear this on Sactown Sports?
Hand off McCaffrey. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Or how about this?
Feel super, baby! The 5-time Super Bowl champions, and they're looking for number 6.
Catch every Niners game during the 2023 season
on your home for the 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. Want to talk to you about my friends at American Energy. We can all agree on one thing. Your time is important. That's why at American Energy Heat and Air, they make shopping for a new air conditioner easier with their new online quoting tool. Now, all you have to do, go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote today. It'll help you determine what system you'll need to get and provide those great pricing options they have, the best pricing options, all from the comforts of your home without having somebody coming to your house. Visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. Or if you want to give them a call and talk through what your specific needs are, call 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
Katie, coming on the program at 8 o'clock. Maybe we'll see MC then. Seriously, has anyone seen? I go back and forth with the guy. I don't remember seeing MC for the last couple of days.
Did you say something mean that finally,
No.
Maybe he's taking the Kings playoff exit.
Yeah.
A little tougher, rougher than everyone else.
He's probably writing up season reviews. Going to submit them to Monty.
Great point right there. Katie Thomas at 9 a.m. on an Analyst Wednesday. Jay Mars right now. You have to wait any longer. Jay Mars, 3 for Madness.
And I know many people have been waiting for 3 for Madness, of course, brought to you by Firewings.
Firewings.
21 different flavors to choose from still?
That is Deuce Uno.
Good call.
Firewings just winging.
Look at you. Look, it's like you have it embedded in your brain.
It is embedded in my soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on fire.
Thank you.
Fireworks. It appears Chris Paul will miss the Suns' next 2 games. Down 2-0. Are the Suns going fishing?
I think they were going to go fishing anyways, but you lose Chris Paul now, and you're really going fishing. Listen, never say never. A team with Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Kevin Durant going home now. I'm not going to write them off completely, and I'm not going to say they're going to get swept, but this also, although they didn't have Durant last year, but this also is a team that's kind of, there's a knock on the Suns. One of them is they're kind of mentally soft. If you bend them, you can break them. I don't see them winning 4 of the next 6 in this, or 5 in this series. I think they'll be joining us in Cancun very soon.
Yeah, I think they're much like the Warriors did win 4 or 5. It can be done, but they losing a huge element. I don't think they're as deep anymore. They're maybe more talented with their starting 5 than they were in the past, but they're just not as deep. And I think that's going to catch up to them. Denver's been hitting with numbers. Denver at home has been great. And then Jokic, they just haven't had the answer for him. He's been the best player in this series. While Murray was great in game 1, wasn't great in game 2.
Still won.
Denver has too much, I think. So yeah, they're going to go fishing.
Can I go back to what you said about Durant? Like, this team has shown obviously that they can be broken, but and I know they have Durant this year. Do we have any example of Kevin Durant being the guy that could lead this team back? Like, I feel like Kevin Durant in this particular situation is not like an X factor.
I mean, Durant was wonderful with the Warriors when they won the title. No ifs, ands, or buts. He was wonderful, but he also was with the Warriors.
Also was a different player at that point.
Yeah.
Like, that's, 7 years ago now?
Yeah. And by the way, I really thought his performance with the Nets, was it last year with the foot on the line or the year before?
A couple years ago.
A couple years ago. I thought that was underrated too, even though they lost to the Bucks. They lost to the eventual champions, and they were a foot on the line away from probably not losing. But you're right. He's not the same guy. What is Durant? 33?
34?
34?
Now.
Yeah. It's going to take something special from one or all of that trio to keep these guys in the series. I don't see it. Number 2.
Question 2.
The Memphis Grizzlies will not be re-signing Dillon Brooks, quote, under any circumstance. Is Brooks being made an example of for the poor culture in the Grizz organization?
So I have no love for Dillon Brooks, and I enjoyed seeing him get pantsed in this series, both on the floor and publicly. I also think it's kind of trash what the Grizzlies are doing too. Like it or not, this guy was a part of your core. He was a starter on your team, and you got far bigger problems with John Morant and all the stuff surrounding him. Look, the Grizzlies, this might be a whole different ball game if John Morant isn't doing the shenanigans he did. Steven Adams out. Brandon Clark was a huge loss for them. They had injury issues. They had off-court issues. But, hey, again, like you said, Jason, yesterday, all they had to do is by the way, you didn't even have to leak it. And also, by the way, that leak could have come from Dillon Brooks' camp. We have to acknowledge that. That being said, if it was the Grizzlies that did that, I think it's kind of trashy. I think other players noticed that, by the way, as well, and it makes it more difficult, as Kings fans know. When you got dysfunction in your organization, it makes it more difficult for you to replace people like that. So, I think he is being made the scapegoat. And say what you want about Dillon Brooks, what has he done off the court? But what has he done off the court to get in trouble? Am I missing something? Did he? Because John Morant's the guy last time I checked that was having those issues. There's your guy.
Yeah.
You want to blame someone for that, which I don't think you should. You blame him.
And they're not going to do that to their superstar that they want to keep and they want to showcase and highlight, and people buy tickets to watch. And the reality is Brooks is more expendable. One, he was up. Two, they are looking for someone to. How are you a 2 seed and fizzle out like that? And what went wrong? And by all accounts, we know people to the Memphis organization that said for whatever reason this year was a little bit of disarray off the court.
Yeah.
And I can't put it all on Dillon Brooks. Maybe some of it is, but either way, the wording was fascinating to me to say under no circumstances. Just made it sound like he was just the worst guy ever. And I don't know that to be the case, but boy, they sure didn't want any part of him.
Yeah, it's just interesting because, Dillon Brooks' behavior was obviously, outside of the Memphis market, extremely annoying to. But whether it was Dillon Brooks or Ja, the Grizzlies stood out in front of their guys like they do nothing wrong ever.
Yeah.
And then it's like all these things start coming out. It's like you look stupid as an organization.
It's a cultural issue there. It's the team culture that is the problem. And now you've got the finger pointing and all that. And listen. Say what you want about Dillon Brooks, and we're all three unanimous that he's kind of an ass. But that's the type of response you give someone if there was a domestic battery, if there was a DUI crash, if there was something horrific off the court. That's not the response you give somebody who shows his butt on national TV and says dumb things.
And I hate to put it in this manner. That's a statement that should have been out by like the Charlotte Hornets with Miles Bridges,
exactly
right?
That's the type of statement you put out there. Not that's throwing him under the bus. And you can dislike the guy and also try to be fair at the same time. Number 3.
Question 3.
After a handful of second round games, do you have a new finals matchup and champion?
I feel a lot better about Denver being there. I'm going to stick with Boston. Philly's making it tough. Let's see what happens with Embiid coming back. But there's certainly a couple cracks in that Celtic armor after the Hawks series. And now this game. Now, again, Boston could reel off 4 straight. Wouldn't surprise me. I'm going to stick with that. But, boy, I'm on the head of a needle right now as far as changing my champion. I've had Boston all year, but I'm just trying to think, how does Boston handle Nikola Jokic? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does Boston handle Nikola Jokic?
Does Boston get a chance to handle Nikola Jokic?
True. Very true. Very true. Denver just seems like the most complete team in the playoffs right now. That may have something to do with who they're playing necessarily. No offense to Phoenix, but I'm gonna stick with Denver, Boston, but I'm close.
Yeah, this would clearly be a switch. I would go Denver, Philly, and I. Just because Philly won game 1, but game 1 was impressive.
You've been in on Philly for a while, though.
Yeah, I thought this might be they had so many cracks at Boston they can never beat them. I feel like this was going to be the time that maybe they would. But keep an eye on Miami.
Yeah.
That's the one. I don't know. There's something like they should have been done and out and gone, and they're so well coached. Jimmy Butler's pretty awesome. I know he missed yesterday, and they still had a chance to win that game. Keep an eye on Miami.
Didn't they look almost evenly matched with the Knicks without Jimmy yesterday?
Yeah,
they did.
I'm going to give you guys a question through the break.
Okay, I want to question 4.
Okay.
What's harder for you guys to choose right now, the Western Conference champ or the Eastern Conference champ? What's giving you more difficulty?
Right now, it's the Eastern Conference. Yeah. And, well, maybe we don't need to run this through. I know we need to take a break, but let me just simply ask you, of all the teams left, what is the most interesting, if not best, use your own phrase, storyline for a champion? Who gets the best storyline if they win the whole thing? Is it Philly in the process and Joel Embiid, James Harden finally getting a ring? Is it Boston and Ime Udoka left? And is it Denver finally getting a championship?
Miami at 8.
LeBron and the Lakers completely revamping their team.
I mean, if the Knicks did it,
the Knicks pretty spectacular. Return to Madison Square Garden and basketball mecca.
Kevin Durant leads Phoenix. I think every team has a compelling story, right?
Oh, by the way, the Warriors.
Another one.
Their dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I feel like every team has a compelling story. This is actually a really
do.
interesting NBA playoffs.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll hear from Mike Brown. We wanted to talk to Mike Brown all day yesterday. You get your wish. We've got his press conference next.
Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track, makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Hey there, Jason Ross here to tell you about my friends at ACR Solar, ACR Home Services as well. It's kind of a one-stop shop for you. They do a lot of different things, whether it's pool solar as well. Obviously, that's in their name. Other home services. And for us, part of that home service department is roofing. And we didn't know that. I was not aware of that. And thank goodness I am now. That's why I'm trying to make all of you aware of it as well. Just different things you might need for your home. Check out acrsolar.com to see if they have that for you. So for us, when we met with John, the owner, Joe, the roofing expert, we knew we were in good hands with ACR Solar and Home Services. Their expertise in roofing, their experience, especially Joe, just knows so much about it. He had years and years and years of experience and just walked us through how it was all going to go. And really everything he said is exactly how it went. Their timetables and timelines, they were very thorough with that and stuck with it. It was important with us, for us. And then the end result is a brand new roof that looks great. We have peace of mind, our curb appeal, our home value, all the things you want when you take on a project of that size all came to fruition. So if you're in need of solar, pool solar, home services, roofing, whatever it might be, check out acrsolar.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Wednesday is going to start out pretty cool, so grab the layers. Heading into the afternoon, we'll see a mix of sun, clouds, maybe an isolated shower today, highs peaking in the upper 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
For a business to thrive, there needs to be a constant stream of new customers. This happens through strong lead generation. Did you know that lead generation is one of the most important tools of any marketing campaign? Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products and services to them. To get started today, contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results today.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton & Price in your corner. When you call Ashton & Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real-life person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. Good morning with your Sactown Sports headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The NBA playoffs continued last night with the New York Knicks tying their series with the Miami Heat after a 111-105 Game 2 victory. That series moves to Miami Saturday, where the Heat hope to have Jimmy Butler back from an ankle injury. The game of the night, though, was on the West Coast, as for the first time since 1989, the Warriors and Lakers matched up, with LA getting a big Game 1 win on the road.
117-112. LeBron James, 22-11. Anthony Davis, 30 points, 23 rebounds.
On the diamond, the Mariners beat the A's 2-1 despite Oakland starting pitcher Mason Miller throwing a no-hitter through 7 innings. And the Giants took out the defending champion Astros with a little help from catcher Blake Sable.
First pitch to Blake, swung on. That ball's driven to left field. Julks back, looking up. It's off the wall. Peterson around third. He's going to score. Conforto cruises into third. The throwback into the infield. And Blake Sable allowed RBI double to make it 2-0 Giants.
Coming up on today's show, Kings color analyst Katie Christensen joins us at 8 a.m., followed by former King and current analyst Kenny Thomas at 9 from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And if you missed either of those 2 interviews, check them out later today at SactownSports.com. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
Katie joining us at 8. Katie joining us at 9. From the text line at 916-339-1140, John Morant being out did not play a part in the Grizzlies' playoff loss. They still ended in the 2 seed. I think you got to look at it more broad. And this isn't provable, so it's not a fair argument. But we don't know what all of that did and what that effect was long term. And not just Ja, but just the whole thing. Ja Morant, Steven Adams, Brandon Clark being out, Dylan Brooks. There's a lot of injuries. Yeah, it does take its toll. So I'm not advocating that this whole thing was on Ja Morant, but I think you could see that the Grizzlies were treating Dylan Brooks very differently than Ja Morant.
Yeah.
And
clearly they have, especially on the exit.
There's very few things worse for culture, as Kings fans know. You know, DeMarcus, say what you want about him. DeMarcus has his own issues. DeMarcus caused a lot of his own problems, but the Kings did not help.
Right.
The Kings did not help in effectively giving him the keys to the castle from day one. And there was just nobody in the organization, whether it was coach. I mean, you remember Jeff Petrie suspended. This is when Petrie was here, suspended DeMarcus Cousins indefinitely. It was one game. Time and time again, he won the battles behind the scenes. And the problem with that, or should I say, one of the problems with that, there's very few things worse for a team culture than when players know that the superstar can get away with things that they can't.
Correct.
And granted, it's like that in every job. There's a little bit of that. But when it's blatant like that, it's very difficult to look people in the eye. And I think that might have been a little bit of that in the Memphis locker room.
Yeah, and so then for me, I think about what's going on here. Obviously, we're in year one of significant turnaround of watching what the Kings are doing, and we played a bunch of stuff yesterday, and just hearing all the exit interviews from the players, just the amount of joy they had in this season, how much love they had for one another, this team, the coaching staff, like it's what you want.
Yeah.
And I felt like we could feel it watching them, but then you go, well, I mean, are we on the outside? But I felt like they brought us in.
Yeah.
And it did seem like it was a very enjoyable year together.
100%.
Yeah.
No culture issues here. Mike Brown was on the podium yesterday, and he talked about the love from the players.
This is a players' league, and it's about the players. And you want your players, or you hope that your players have trust and belief in you, because if they do, then they're going to go out and they're going to take it to another level in their performance. On top of that, I don't care what business you're in. As a leader, it's my job to define reality while giving hope. Having said that, I want to make sure that everybody that I'm leading, whether it's coaches, players, whoever, they feel like they have ownership in the process. And if a guy has ownership in the process because I believe in him, as you know, when anybody feels that, they're going to want success because they have a vested part, or they have equity in whatever you're doing out there because of the ownership that you're giving them. So you love to hear stuff like that. That's what makes me want to continue to try to be as good as I can, just to make sure everybody feels that way, because when you have that from your entire group, man, the sky's the limit with what can happen for us as a whole.
Buy-in.
Yeah, and I think it was stated between games 5 and 6 that some coaching staff suggestions on lineup switches.
Yeah.
And Mike Brown listened.
Yeah.
And adapted to that. I think that's a collaborative thing here. I think he's utilized some of the players' leadership, whether that's been Barnes, Fox, Sabonis, and I think it's Davion is the fourth of kind of that leadership team that kind of reports to Coach Brown. So you're getting player perspective, coach's perspective. He had said in his press conference yesterday that he's very open, like Monty and Wes can come in at any time. He said they don't always, but they can, and kind of vice versa. But I think he really makes this collaborative, and like in his term, like when you give someone ownership in something, then it's like, wow, he's allowing me to thrive.
Yep.
And then I feel like I can, and I want to for him because I've been given this opportunity. I really like his approach.
If there's one thing that probably hasn't been covered a lot on the dynamics, because you basically have three factions. You have front office, you have coaching staff, you have players. They've been so good behind the scenes at creating an environment of teamwork and of collaboration. So a player, a GM, a scout, a video coordinator, a coach could have an idea, and it's all going to carry the same weight. There's only going to be 2 questions asked. Is this a good idea or is this a bad idea? And they're going to discuss it. But at the same time, the front office does not mess with the coaches. They're very picky and choosy as to when they get involved and when they don't, and they stay in their lane, as do the coaches, as do the players. But the relationship between the front office and the coaches is so ideal because the front office knows their role, and their job is to basically provide information. I asked a member of one of the members of the front office, what was it? Monday, Sunday, whatever it was. That was Monday afternoon. I asked him about the Davion Mitchell, Steph Curry.
Yeah.
And the first, and this is like so deep off the record, it's ridiculous. Well, why are you talking about it? Well, because I'm not naming the person, obviously, but they were like, honestly, I don't know. I mean, I have my ideas, but I don't really, I don't really go into that part of stuff. Mike's such a genius, and Jordy and everybody, they're such geniuses that at that point we just kind of, we have a little bit more of a vested interest than fans do, but we're just kind of watching as fans and letting them do their thing. And I really thought, like, this is a person that is very open, and that wasn't a BS or a media answer. This was a conversation that was had very nonchalant, very, again, off the record. And to be very honest with you, had the person said, well, I just don't get why. Well, I would be sharing that. But I think this reflects very well on the fact that they do have a tremendous respect for each department, and that's great culture.
Yeah, on that note about Davion, because we questioned, we wondered, and he was asked yesterday, Mike Brown was, and I know, to paraphrase his answer, I felt like this was the most combative's not the right term, but like pushback that Mike maybe gave back. He said, look, we played TD in game 6. Game 6 was the best game we played in this series. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like, hey, Terrence Davis over Davion, like when we all compare what they do. It's just they like the way game 6 went, the way they played, the way they defended Steph, the way they got the offense out of Terrence Davis. So they went back to it in game 7. They did not get the same results that they did in game 6. And I think there was even a follow-up like, well, not necessarily do you regret that, or what regrets we have of the series. And immediately he goes, I will keep thinking about the rebounding.
Yeah.
And the offensive rebounding. So his point was he believes Steph still could have did what he did with 50, which was jarring. But if they don't have the 13 offensive rebounds, if Looney doesn't go nuts in the offensive rebound department, he thinks, and they make their free throws, those were his words, that he thought they still could have won that game. So the reasoning was they went a different way for offense, and maybe later on, as he evaluates the series, even in weeks to come, maybe he'll regret that. Maybe he won't. I don't know. But that was his answer.
19 minutes for Terrence Davis in game 6, 11 minutes for Davion Mitchell in game 6, 26 minutes in game 7 for Terrence Davis. Davion Mitchell with 8. Mike Brown is unanimous coach of the year, and we're here because, in large part, of Mike Brown. Criticism and questioning, I think, is always very fair. I think my pushback on that would simply be, okay, but Steph's going for 50.
Yeah, it's not the same results you had in game 6.
Not the same results, and don't you need to adjust on the fly?
That's what I would say too. Because even if, like, okay, he's gotten loose. I think he had 36 after 3. Okay, it's a problem.
This isn't working.
Yeah.
And Terrence Davis didn't have a bad game.
He was fine.
But Steph Curry sure liked going against Terrence Davis.
Yeah. And then the problem is, then I felt like they were chasing the game. When you're down 10, I get it. Maybe Davion stops some of what Steph is doing, but you're not getting the same kind of offense that you can from Terrence Davis. But it's not like Davion can't score.
No, it's not. It's not. I get that you had success with it in game 6, but you know what? Very quickly you realized you should have realized you're not having that success in game 7. But to stand behind Jay, to stand behind, or should I say to stand in front of Mike Brown, you have limited options. You only have so many levers you can pull. It's not like you have 21 options you can throw out there on Steph Curry, much like you have 21 different options, including breaded Malaysian curry, at Fire Wings. Go to firewings.com. Thank you, Jay. Find the location near you. You can order your Fire Wings tonight. Hey, it's hump day. Hump day. You know that person that comes in the office and does that annoys everybody. It's hump day. Well, it is. It is hump day. So don't cook. Have yourself some Fire Wings and enjoy those 21 options that Mike Brown does not have. 21 different flavors to choose from. I love to go along with the bread and Malaysian curry. You got Saigon Street. You got garlic parmesan, lemon pepper, buffalo, all your normal flavors. But it's the fusion flavors. Everything, like I said, from Jamaican jerk to peanut butter. That makes it so darn good. Go to firewings.com and find that location near you. Take advantage of their specials. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. Hey, Fire Wings. Just wing it. We'll take a break. More of Mike Brown's closing press conference coming up next. Katie Christensen at 8. Don't go away on Sactown Sports.
It was an amazing season for the Sacramento Kings. The coach of the year.
These honors don't come around often, and so you're very appreciative of them.
The clutch player of the year.
Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
And a return to the playoffs for the first time in 17 years.
16 seasons of frustration. Sacramento has clinched the playoffs.
Keep it on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com for all your Kings off-season news.
Jiffy Lube's Country in the Park, Northern California's biggest country music festival of the year, is back this weekend at Cal Expo, starring Lady A, Chris Young, Brett Eldridge,
What you doing, baby? Don't you?
and so many more. Plus a Blue Scoot and Line Dance Saloon, interactive lounges, and Sacramento's best food trucks. Weekend passes start at just $80. Tickets are on sale now at SactownSports.com. Country in the Park, brought to you by International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 340, and Stonies of Rockin' Rodeo.
At Lowe's, we're always bringing pros more ways to save on the brands you trust. Right now, save up to $50 on select Tough Built products, including the new exclusive Tough Built Steel Head Framing Hammer. Plus, you'll always save big on job lot quantities when buying select building supplies in bulk. Because Lowe's knows savings, Lowe's knows pros. Must ask cashier to apply discount at time of purchase. Online discount is automatically applied in cart. See Lowe's.com or associate for more details and qualifying items. Lowe's reserves the right to limit quantities. Discount taken at time of purchase. Valid through 5/5.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right, but right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
When you hear the words, the whole store is on sale, if you're like me, you're thinking, this is worth my attention. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word or two about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Right now, Naturewood's whole store is on sale during their exceptional home sale. Now your mind is probably doing backflips trying to decide where to start. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Or maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, or accents and accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide home sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stickley, Artisan Home, Stanton, Flex Steel, Omnia, and all the rest of our award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable home sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Katie coming up in 17 minutes. what's interesting is, we get back to Mike Brown, you look at the core of the Sacramento Kings. Domantas Sabonis, Trey Lyles, Fox, Monk, Herter, Murray Mitchell. That's your main rotation, right? And Keegan Murray's the youngest of that core. You know the second youngest is?
I don't.
Kevin Herter.
Oh, yeah.
24.
Right.
It's really weird to think about the fact that and by the way, Davion's 24 too, but
right.
He's not in his prime yet.
Yeah.
He carries himself like a 40-year-old, like a 28, 29-year-old.
And even, there's sometimes a reminder, like sometimes Barnes seems like a dinosaur to people.
I know.
And you watched last night. Now, again, I'm not comparing him, but LeBron's 38, Steph's 35. Durant,
they're ancient.
There's still years to go in Harrison Barnes' career. Now, whether it's a King or not, but I mean, it's not like he's got two games left in him.
They were showing the Laker Warriors game last night. They showed Gary Payton and his wife in the audience. Yeah. It was very early on in my sports life, but I actually remember reading a Sports Illustrated draft preview of this kid out of Oregon State named Gary Payton. And now I'm watching him and his little tiny gray pencil beard and his son playing.
Yeah.
Do you ever do the thing like with Harrison Barnes? Like he's like 30, whatever. Do you ever do the thing where you do the math and just real quick math to figure out how old you were when he was born?
I don't, but I can't.
Don't do it.
Yeah, you could.
Because then I start remembering things I was doing that year.
Yeah.
That he was born.
You could be my son.
Harrison Barnes could be our son.
Yeah. And he's the old guy on the team. Old guy.
Coming up tomorrow, more of middle-aged men realizing the sweet release of death is nearer rather than further. Mike Brown, he's older than us.
There we go. Is he?
Oh, yes. God, is he? Okay. Yeah. Mike Brown talked about the identity of this team that they desperately did not have and trying to figure all that out in just his very first season with the Kings.
We do feel like we established who we are, not just in our own minds, but in others too, because and then how we're going to play. So we establish an identity, and 95% of the times, teams that have an opportunity to be great, they know who they are. They know how they're going to play. And we as a staff feel that, the organization feels it, the community feels it, but more importantly, our players feel it. And any other players out there that are watching, whether they're in college now, guys overseas, guys on other teams, when they look at the Sacramento Kings, they feel that this is a fun brand of basketball to play, and it's the right way to play. And when you start having that, and it's truly something that you believe in and others believe in, everybody gravitates towards it. And when that happens, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, I think there's a lot in there in the fact that, look, Dave, we've talked about it for years about how this is not a primary destination for free agents.
Nope.
Now, how do you make it that? So I think and we've talked to other people, other athletes, what is behind your decision making? First, obviously, there's money. That's a huge factor for a lot of people. But it's opportunity. What are my minutes going to be? Who's the coach going to be? How do they play? What's the city like? So, yeah, Sacramento's not going to be the first choice if we just say Sacramento, remove the Kings. I don't think it's the first choice for a lot of people. But now you incorporate Mike Brown and what's here and De'Aaron Fox and the style and Sabonis, how he makes people better, the fan base, the arena. Things start to ramp up and get more appealing. Now you're winning in what has become the number one offense and what I think a lot of people would enjoy playing in. So they've done a really good job of changing that identity. And in 1 year, there were so many years when they weren't winning. I was like, what are they? What are they? What are they good at? What are they?
Right.
Who are they? What is this team?
What's the identity? What's the culture?
I think they've done it really quickly. And if you can keep building on it, that's what's exciting. It's tough to do to keep building on it, but they're in a really terrific spot.
I don't know what they do now, but I know that at least in a couple of the years under Vlade, they kind of stepped up in their free agent acquisition habits. They would do this thing where they would have a very nice gift box that they would send to potential free agents, and you open it, and there's, I think it was like an engraved, like personalized, brand new iPad, and you open it up, and it would start out with, and I'm not going to get this completely right, but like it would start out with basically like a video, like a pitch video. Hey, it's Vlad, check out. And it was very well done as to reasons why, and specific to that player. George Hill, this is, this is how you could fit here. This is how we see you. And then here's some things about the city for family-oriented guys, blah, blah, blah. I think right now, if they're still doing something similar to that, it might be the best pitch they've ever had. Not just the team, as you said, Mike Brown, the teammates, but the beam, the defensive player of the game chain, the pictures that, just show pictures. Images of the team after each win and hanging out and having
game one
fun.
intros.
Right. Yes, the fans going insane. The Kevin Herter shot against Utah where the place just popped. And then, more national TV games coming next year. One of the most
outside Doko.
Oh, the whole scene there. I would, if I were the Kings and doing something like that, like I'd have my video crew do a couple of things if they haven't already. Like, here's De'Aaron Fox, guys. You're treated like literally like royalty here, no pun intended. Harrison Barnes, the fans think you are walking gods. This is the greatest fan base, and blah blah blah. You have all that, and then it's like, okay. Cost of living, not that they really care about that, but cost of living, schools, the diversity of the city. Oh, by the way, here's Lake Tahoe, here's San Francisco, here's Los Angeles. It's a jumping off point, but you're not in the middle of everything. But honestly, the one thing, and this is the deep, dark, lame secret that doesn't get enough spotlight on it on sports radio or on television or in the mainstream when we're talking about free agent destinations and the deep, dark secret and what really kills places like Sacramento is the shoe companies. Because not a lot of people know. And I've seen it. I think I've shown you. I've seen the printouts before where Nike, for example, will send one of its players what bonuses they get depending on what market or team they go to.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a couple of things that Sacramento has going against it that some other teams don't. That's really, really sad. Number one, Jason, if you're going to get a 3-year, $100 million contract, and you play here, or you play for the Mavericks, or you play for the Heat, you're getting a completely different contract because there's no state tax in Florida or Texas. So number one, you're getting screwed by taxes by playing in California. But if you go play for Golden State, if you go play for the Clippers, if you go play for the Lakers, you are in the number 2 and number 6, respectively, TV markets. And what happens is the shoe companies supplement that income in pretty significant ways. And this is very, very easy types of things to come over. Number one, the NBA needs to knock that off right now. Figure something else out, but the shoe companies should not be able to control where free agency goes. The problem is the press just hasn't gotten on top of it. Number two, contracts need to be adjusted based on taxes. The Dallas Mavericks should not have an advantage over the Sacramento Kings because of their state tax situation. Right. So you very simply allow teams to go above and beyond based on tax rate, just simply to match it. If you're getting a $100 million contract in Texas, you should, after taxes, be able to receive the same amount in California. You shouldn't penalize franchises for living in different states. Jason, teams are also hiring chief experience officers. This is a big deal now. They're going out and they're hiring either people, influencers, or both that help recruit free agents. So you have this whole underbelly of yuck that goes on with this whole thing. And if you're not on top of that, it's why you're seeing Nike executives become GMs. It's why you're seeing the World Wide Wests and the Leon Roses, the agents, the Rob Palenkas, because that's where it's trending right now.
Do you think past recent history of the Kings, a free agent that they wanted may have had to overpay for them? Now, I think this regime has done a better job of that.
Yes.
Based on the regime that's here, based on the results that we've seen under Mike Brown in just 1 year, do you think they're going to be in that spot again? Like if they want player X, as does Dallas and Miami, do they have to go over the mark to get him? Or have they done enough in 1 year to go, you know what, that player may still go, I'm going to Sacramento because of what all the other things we just addressed?
I think it's a broader conversation because I think it's a broader answer. What I would say to you is this, and I'm not sidestepping it. It's going to depend on the player. If you're getting a Malik Monk type player that wants to come play with Fox, but isn't an A-list free agent, wants the opportunity, you've got those guys. But if you're talking A-list, the problem there is that the Kings are screwed. They can't overpay.
Right.
Because the A-list guy is going to be a max guy. But you kind of got to overpay to get the A-list guy. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that, yes, they still would probably have to overpay for your B-list, maybe even C-list free agent guys. But, we'll see. We'll take a break when we come back. All right. We got more of Mike Brown's exit interviews coming up later today. We'll sandwich that in between Kenny Thomas at 9 and Katie Christensen coming up right after this.
It's Cattles and Rami.
Until you get weirded out by how into games you get, because my girlfriend she's getting used to it. When I'm like, oh, that's not a foul. Yeah, that's okay. I guess that's not a foul. Yeah, all right. I got to work on things. My language is pretty bad when watching games. Gotta work on that.
Cattles and Rami, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports. Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Sacramento area attorneys. 500
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Valley Strong Credit Union.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Wednesday is going to start out pretty cool, so grab the layers. Heading into the afternoon, we'll see a mix of sun, clouds, maybe an isolated shower today. Highs peaking in the upper 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, capital, and everything in between. Learn about all the benefits of being a business banking member at valleystrong.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. Spring officially here. And with the long, cold, and rainy winter behind us, I'm sure you're counting the days until summer, but don't wait until it's hot to make sure your air conditioner is working efficiently and, most importantly, safely. Get ahead of the problem with a $49 AC tune-up from American Energy Heat and Air. There's nothing worse than your air conditioner going out when it's hot outside. Get a tune-up today and make sure you and your family are comfortable and cool in your home for the hot summer months that are right around the corner. Give them a call, 916-520-9990, or schedule your appointment online at AmericanEnergyAir.com. Better Business Bureau, A+ rating. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. Easy, convenient payment options, same as cash, low monthly payments through financing partners. What do you need? 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
The newest, most exciting race cars are coming to WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca May 12th through 14th for the Motul Course de Monterey, powered by Hyundai. North America's premier sports car series brings intense wheel-to-wheel racing. And there's plenty of family fun too, including go-karts, a Ferris wheel, and a kids zone. Get your tickets now by calling 831-242-8200. That's 831-242-8200 or visit WeatherTechRaceway.com. Enjoy Mother's Day weekend May 12th through 14th in beautiful Monterey.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopy movietheaters.com.
Hey, movie fans, the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento is now serving adult beverages. Playing this week, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, an IMAX 2D and 3D experience.
It's time to save the universe.
Let's give the galaxy something to remember us by.
See Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 on the largest screen in Sacramento. Visit IMAX.com/Sacramento for tickets and reserved seating. Select showtimes in 3D. Plus, join the free IMAX Directors Club to receive special member pricing on tickets and more at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good morning with your Sactown Sports headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The NBA playoffs continued last night with the New York Knicks tying their series with the Miami Heat after a 111-105 Game 2 victory. That series moves to Miami Saturday, where the Heat hope to have Jimmy Butler back from an ankle injury. The game of the night, though, was on the West Coast, as for the first time since 1989, the Warriors and Lakers matched up, with LA getting a big Game 1 win on the road.
117-112. LeBron James, 22 and 11. Anthony Davis, 30 points, 23 rebounds.
On the diamond, the Mariners beat the A's 2-1 despite Oakland starting pitcher Mason Miller throwing a no-hitter through 7 innings. And the Giants took out the defending champion Astros with a little help from catcher Blake Sable.
First pitch to Blake, swung on, that ball's driven to left field. Julks back, looking up, it's off the wall. Peterson around third, he's going to score. Conforto cruises into third, the throwback into the infield, and Blake Sable allowed RBI double to make it 2-0 Giants.
Coming up on today's show, Kings color analyst Katie Christensen joins us at 8 a.m., followed by former King and current analyst Kenny Thomas at 9 from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And if you missed either of those 2 interviews, check them out later today at SactownSports.com. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
True story. This is a true story. Many of you know that I consider Katie my best friend in the world. I love her to death. This is the first time she and I will be talking about the Sacramento Kings since Game 7.
It's fair.
Very first time. We've had no...
Sounds like by choice.
Yeah, well, yeah, sort of. Joining us right now.
Well, you don't want to talk about it.
No. Color analyst for your Sacramento Kings. The final time she will be with us forever. I don't know. Depending on, I don't know. We don't know what's going on with contracts in the offseason.
Oh my goodness!
We don't know what's going to happen. I'm talking about contract between us and her.
Oh yeah.
Katie, good morning.
Oh my goodness! You just immediately stirring the pot this morning. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
Hey, you ready to talk Kings?
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, since this is forcing your hand here.
She called a couple times, and I'll stand in front of her. She knew I was depressed, and it's not like she was happy,
right?
And I didn't want to talk about it.
Wow,
just didn't want.
What
to
if there was other conversations she wanted?
There wasn't.
Oh.
There wasn't.
Was there, Katie?
Not true.
I mean,
yeah. So Jason, that's the thing. Like, no one wants to, deal with the depression that is the end of like a really magical season for the Kings. And I think they've handled it worse than about most people. But oddly enough, there's other things in the world than basketball. And so I'm like, hey, like, you have no, what if I were in the hospital? You'd have no idea.
You would have told.
Won't even answer the phone.
I would have. I feel like you would have texted me that at some point. That
she'd have to text you to let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you would have been in the hospital and I'd come visit you and you'd have like grabbed your hand and be like, hey, are you okay? And you'd have been like, yeah, But I don't want you to be upset about the Kings, Dave. It was such a great season. You really have to look. What you need to understand, Dave.
Hey, listen. I will say this. I've given you your space. Just like every single fan. Like my whole kind of message at the end of the season was like, let it hurt. Let it hurt for as long as it needs to hurt. And then after that, remember, that we weren't supposed to be here. No one saw this team coming anywhere close to what they did. They got 2 All-Stars, most likely 2 All-NBA players, a unanimous, first time ever, unanimous Coach of the Year. Malik Monk played fantastically. Keegan Murray broke a record, for the rookie, 3-point field goal makes in a season. I mean, we were third in the Western Conference going into the postseason, took the defending champs to 7 games. Like, really so much came out of this season. And I think the biggest thing maybe is that this literally is just the beginning for this team. And when you look at it through those lenses, it's excitement to me.
I'm with you on that, Katie. I think I'm so excited about what they've done, what they can do, I think. But where it hits for me, and I'm wondering if you had any years like this in the WNBA or even in college where I just enjoyed this team so much. So it's something that's being taken away. Of course, I'm upset or saddened that they lost to the Warriors, but it's more so that I wish I could continue to watch them play. And I know next year they'll be a large part the same team, but they won't be exactly the same. So did you ever have a year like that where you just enjoyed yourself so much that part of the sadness is as much knowing that it won't be the exact same? Could be better, but it won't be the exact same as the year you just went through.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because when you say that, Jason, this team, this is really the first time. Listen, you understand, like, the season and travel and all those things mixed in with your normal, adult responsibilities in life. Like, it can really wear on you and get to be a lot throughout the course of the season. But I will say, like, this group, from the players on the roster to the coaching staff to all the people that we travel with and work with, like, it was a joy this season. Like, I enjoyed being on the road and being around everybody, and I enjoyed being at home and sitting, courtside before the game started and being able to just talk to people. And, like, Mike Brown did a really great job of fostering a very, very comfortable, happy environment for everybody associated with the team that travels. And if that's the way that it was for the team that travels, you have to imagine that that's the way that it was for everyone that worked in their offices and everything. And that was important to him, that, there was meals provided for everyone. You could go and eat together. You socialize. When we were in Portland, all the coaching staff and players had the ability to bring their wives and girlfriends and family. And we all, like, kind of intermingled, and you get to know people on a personal level. And that, to me, that makes this season really different than any other season. And something I'm really going to miss is being around those people.
Katie Christensen with us. One of the things we've been talking about as we look forward to next year and also do the postmortem on this one, one of the things that hurts when you get attached to a team, more often than not, it doesn't matter. You can look at any championship team, any championship contender team. Their first year is generally not the same starting lineup and roster as their third or fourth year. Do you think they lean more towards run it back, or do you think there's the playoffs, if anything, also expose that, maybe there's a bit of a ceiling on this current iteration, a good ceiling, but a ceiling?
I think it's kind of a combination of both, right? I think it exposed some things, but let's be honest about it. Those things were already exposed at the All-Star break and before the trade deadline. And the interesting thing about kind of the NBA trade deadline is there's a lot of times where there were moves that were really close to being made that we're never made aware of, right? And so it also gives insight into how a front office and a general manager looks at their roster, right? So, it was interesting to me because in all these years with the Kings, we have never, ever let a player's contract expire.
Yeah.
They've always been moved at the trade deadline. And there's multiple guys on this roster that have their contract expiring. Most notably is Harrison Barnes, but then also Trey Lyles, who has been so critical to the success of this team throughout the season coming off the bench. And so I look at it like I feel like they do want to run it back to a certain degree because they allowed those contracts to expire, which means they feel like they have built a relationship with these players and that these players would really want to be back here and be a part of this moving forward, right? And they're trusting that kind of relationship that they have established with them. So, but also we know that there are things, and if you know, Looney's rebounding during the first round of the playoffs didn't expose something, I don't know what does. You cannot rely on Domantas Sabonis to be the only rebounding, you know, factor on this roster. So you have to be able to look at that and say, okay, we learned something and we also have to make some changes. But knowing that and being able to facilitate those changes and signings, that's the gamble. That's the challenging part that the front office faces in the offseason.
Yeah, Katie, I think that's a great point. I feel like Sabonis is a real huge focal point of this series, and not in any way that he's obviously a huge foundation. He had a great year. These are all things that you want to go forward with. But what do you think that Coach Brown, the organization, Sabonis himself learned not only about kind of the rebounding thing that he was asked to do and which was great all year, but had some challenges in this series, but also the way they defended him. They clearly tried to take stuff away from him as his superpowers as a passer, scorer. What do you think everybody kind of learned about, and Sabonis himself learned about this series?
Oh, I imagine that, you know, he understands the importance of, he can knock down that shot. The crazy thing is, I think it's more about mentality, right? He is such an unselfish player and such a pass first, facilitate for other type of mindset. I think really what it's going to do for him is reinforce, continue to work on that. So you become more and more comfortable. But to me, it was less about him not taking them or, you know, not being good at that shot, because he can knock down that shot with about a 50% clip, I would say, that mid-range kind of elbow jumper, which is really what they were taking away. And if he, you know, steps up and starts making those, they can't sag off, and that completely changes the dynamics of the offense. But I think more than anything, what it exposed is his mentality, right? He has to be willing to, as soon as he recognizes the coverage, to put it on the floor, attack in a different way. And we actually saw it a little bit more in Game 6 and even Game 7. You can still run the DHO action, and even when they're sagging off of you. And so I think overall, he individually, but also the team, really learned a lot about how different coverages can impact the offense and what the counter to that is, right? So I imagine that Domas is probably still in an ice bath trying to heal up from this series. Like, it was brutal on a physical level, but also on an emotional and mental level. I thought there was a completely unfair amount of criticism heaped on him. And it's absurd to me, but it also is like, okay, that's fine. People are going to say what they want to say, but he's going to get back to work this offseason, you guys. He's going to work with the coaching staff, player development. And one of those things is going to be saying, okay, if someone is not on you, shoot first. Don't think past. Attack the paint. Do that to try and blow up the coverage.
That's Katie Christensen joining us each and every week in her final appearance of the season. One of the other reasons why Katie can handle the loss a little better than me is Katie's got 5 months of not working. Whereas
she's always doing something.
Yeah, well, that's where I was leading is, you know, we got to fill 4 hours every day with non-King stuff. Katie basically gets a 5-month vacation, but I'm going to guess you're going to find a few projects between now and then.
Oh, as if I haven't had the list for months now. Yeah.
All right. We'll have fun remodeling your roof or whatever. Thank you for your visits this week, and we will talk to you soon.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you too. That's Katie Christensen. We will take a break. When we come back, part 3, more of Mike Brown's exit interview / speech / conversation / TED Talk. We'll do it next.
It was an amazing season for the Sacramento Kings. The Coach of the Year.
These honors don't come around often, and so you're very appreciative of them.
The Clutch Player of the Year.
Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
And a
return to the playoffs for the first time in 17 years.
16 seasons of frustration. Sacramento has clinched the playoffs.
Keep it on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com for all your Kings off-season news.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
As we get into Mike Brown's answer here, conversation, I should say, he was asked if this season was a success. I think it would be very interesting to lead into it. And Jason, this is your idea. Sort of. I'm taking your idea and I'm running.
You're embellishing it.
I'm embellishing your idea. So you'll remember Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
And his conversation after the Bucks radio. What was this season a failure? Here's what Giannis had to say.
Okay, because I'm not that up. You asked me the same question last year, Eric. Okay, do you get the promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Yes or no? No. Every year you work towards something, towards a goal, right? Which is to get a promotion, to be able to take care of your family, to be able, provide the house for them or take care of your parents. You work towards a goal. It's not a failure. It's steps to success. And if you've never, I don't want to make it personal. So there's always steps to it. Michael Jordan played 15 years, won 6 championships. The other 9 years was a failure. That's what you're telling me. I'm asking you a question. Yes or no? Okay, exactly. So why are you asking me that question? It's a wrong question. There's no failure in sports. There's good days, bad days. Some days you are able to be successful. Some days you're not. Some days it's your turn. Some days it's not your turn. And that's what sports is about. You don't always win. Some other people's going to win. And this year, somebody else is going to win. Simple as that. We're going to come back next year, try to be better, try to build good habits, try to play better, not have a 10-day stretch with playing bad basketball, and hopefully we can win a championship. So 50 years from 1971 to 2021 that we didn't win a championship, it was 50 years of failures. No, it was not. It was steps to it, and we were able to win one. Hopefully we can win another one. Sorry that I didn't want to make it personal.
It's a very interesting, very interesting answer that's still being laid out.
Yeah, well, look, we've used the term a lot this last couple of weeks, house money, whatever you want to say. I feel like there's disappointment in not getting past the Warriors, but everything this year felt so positive. It's hard to call this year anything but a success.
Here's what Mike Brown had to say.
You're proud of the guys and the way that they competed. But we're just like everybody else, in my opinion. I came here saying that we want to compete for a championship like everybody else, and I know that a lot of people laughed at me, which was cool, but that's my feeling. You just like everybody else, you're in it to win the whole thing. It sucks to lose your last game, and only one team gets a happy feeling going into the summertime. I've experienced that happy feeling on 4 different occasions, and it sucks if you don't get to that point. So from the standpoint of us not attaining that, yeah, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed we lost, but that doesn't diminish what we accomplished as a group and the steps that we've taken as a group, because sometimes you have to take certain steps in order to grow and to get there. And I can't sit here and say that if we lose in the first round, the second round, the third round, or even if we lose in the finals, that I wouldn't be disappointed, yeah, because I want more, and I hope that everybody involved wants more. But again, like I said, that doesn't diminish the fact that you can't be proud of your accomplishments, and you can't be looking forward to what you can possibly do the next time you get an opportunity together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's right on. You don't want regression. You want this to be your new floor. And I mean, again, we've got to think about whether we were saying it or I don't know what they were saying internally, but Dave, the target was the play-in.
Yep. The play-in.
And with a chance, like and remember the debate is if the play in the playoffs, well, we realize they're not. But
They're not.
If you get to the play-in and then get through that, at least that experience would be great for them. They went right past that, and whether they were championship caliber, I don't know. I don't feel like they're far off, but it doesn't matter. They lost in the first round, but they're building so many wonderful things. They just got to keep that going forward.
It's undeniable, right? They're ahead of schedule.
Yes.
Of expectations.
Mm-hmm.
They exceeded expectations
For now.
this year. For right now.
Right. That changes quickly.
That changes very quickly. And when you go from 0 to, if not 60, if you go from 0 to 40 that quickly, now all of a sudden 40 is the baseline.
Yeah.
So next year, true or false, and you always have to say, barring crazy injury, whatever. True or false, they didn't get out of the first round. It's a disappointing year.
Without context, even with context, I think it would be hard to say it would be positive.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know if it would go 7. I don't know if you faced if you were the 8 seed and you faced the one that won 75 games.
Right.
Okay. But that's a pretty extreme context, but I feel like right now, Kings fans probably think they're going to win more regular season games.
Mm-hmm.
I think the organization thinks they're going to win more regular season games. They would at least like a second round appearance, if not more. It doesn't always happen that way,
right?
But you have to keep building towards thoughts like that, and everything they do in the offseason has to be with goals of that and farther along, which I think Mike Brown also did say that. I don't know if we have the cut today. I don't think we do, actually, but he said, look, the jump they made was so big, but the next one is smaller. It's just more difficult.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, it is a lot more difficult to do what they have to do to the next level. It will be more difficult, even though it's a smaller leap.
If De'Aaron Fox, does that apply to individuals? If De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis have the same year next year that they did this year, they make the All-Star team, they both get a couple MVP votes, statistics are the same. Is that a disappointment? Are individuals expected to make leaps like teams overall are?
Well, they are, but I mean, it's like kind of quantifying. I think you read yesterday Fox's numbers when we kind of breaking him down. Like his numbers were technically, some of them were lower than a year before. He had a better year.
100%.
So he had a better year. So what could that look like for, I think you want the jump from Murray. Keegan Murray's numbers should go higher.
Yeah.
Maybe Kevin Huerter's are the same, but is he more efficient in the regular season?
Yeah.
Monk, same kind of thing. Fox, is it just fine-tuned percentages? Sabonis, little higher number. I mean, it just, I don't know that individually. You just want everybody to have the look of filling in their weaknesses and just being more well-rounded player.
We will take a break. When we come back, final audio from Mike Brown. He spends a lot of time here. This was really his most detailed answer.
This is good.
When asked about De'Aaron Fox and where he still can go, kind of piggybacking what we just talked about with players and advancing throughout the years. Who's hot, who's not. Let's go streaking coming up later on today. Kenny Thomas at 9:00 and so much more. Stick with us for this last hour and 40 of our show right here on Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Feel and hear the power of America's muscle cars and more at the Trans Am Speed Fest, May 5th through 7th at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. Enjoy the open race paddock and be immersed among the teams. From the top of the corkscrew to the bottom of turn 1, it's 3 days of racing thrills for the whole family. For tickets, call 831-242-8200. That's 831-242-8200. Or visit WeatherTechRaceway.com. The Trans Am Speed Fest, May 5th through 7th at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca in Monterey.
Get to Acura of Stockton, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. And right now, lease a new Acura TLX, MDX, or Integra with low lease rates available. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street. Right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Jiffy Lube's Country in the Park. Northern California's biggest country music festival of the year is back this weekend at Cal Expo, starring Lady A, Chris Young, Brett Eldridge,
What you doing, baby? Don't you?
and so many more. Plus a boost in Line Dance Saloon, interactive lounges, and Sacramento's best food trucks. Weekend passes start at just $80. Tickets are on sale now at SactownSports.com. Country in the Park, brought to you by International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 340 and Stonies of Rock and Rodeo.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist and ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
There's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. And at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, we are proud to provide our best selection to get you there. Buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own report.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. Good morning with your Sactown Sports headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The NBA playoffs continued last night with the New York Knicks tying their series with the Miami Heat after a 111-105 Game 2 victory. That series moves to Miami Saturday, where the Heat hope to have Jimmy Butler back from an ankle injury. The game of the night, though, was on the West Coast, as for the first time since 1989, the Warriors and Lakers matched up, with LA getting a big Game 1 win on the road.
117-112. LeBron James, 22-11. Anthony Davis, 30 points, 23 rebounds.
On the diamond, the Mariners beat the A's 2-1 despite Oakland starting pitcher Mason Miller throwing a no-hitter through 7 innings. And the Giants took out the defending champion Astros with a little help from catcher Blake Sable.
First pitch to Blake, swung on. That ball's driven to left field. Julks back, looking up. It's off the wall. Peterson around third. He's going to score. Conforto cruises into third. The throwback into the infield, and Blake Sable allowed RBI double to make it 2-0 Giants.
Kings color analyst Katie Christensen joined us earlier in the show, and still to come today, former King and current analyst Kenny Thomas joins us at 9 from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
They bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
Kenny Thomas to join us at 9 o'clock. Thanks again to Katie Christensen. If you miss any part of any interview we ever have, ever, you go back to Sactown Sports. We got everything podcasted for you there.
Ever?
Check out our YouTube if you'd like. If you missed something.
I think you should. YouTube's popping today.
How's it looking? Popping?
Hello to everybody in there.
Hello.
Let's see. Did MC make an appearance during Katie's appearance? I don't see him. They said he's in there. I have yet to see a comment from him. Interesting. 916-339-1140 is your text line. 1-800-920-1140 is your phone line. We'll get to Mike Brown here in a second. Gammon, good morning. You're on with Jason and Dave.
Good morning, Jason, Dave. I'm so happy to be calling in. Dave, it's incredible. I'm 38 right now, but the last time that we made the playoffs, I was 21. That was before I joined the Army. Still in right now. And I remember I used to call into your show when this channel used to put you on at like midnight. So it's nice to talk to you during the day. I did want to say something here. And I think that what the 49ers, that the Kings need the most right now is just an athletic, off the ball rebounding four who has the ability to pass out of the corner. When we're looking at Domantas Sabonis, what he's saying at the end of the season is really encouraging. He's going to go ahead and add in that corner jumper, mid-range jumper, a la like Chris Webber, kind of passing out of the top of the blocks. And I really do kind of think that this team needs to take the next step to kind of that Princeton offense, right? We're talking about that 2-1-2, where you have Divock and Webber kind of setting those picks and screens there at the corner. And these guys get these jumpers, and that way then they can kind of handle it. When I say athletic four, though, we're talking about somebody who can go ahead, get out, and run, and go ahead and finish off those high-flying kind of fast breaks. But they do not need a three-point shot. Everyone's going to be thinking we need a four who can stretch, who can shoot a three, keep spacing on the floor, everything like that. I don't think so, because when I look at it, I look at what Harrison Barnes gave us. Right, kind of similar at that position, and he didn't really give us anything. And the other thing too is we're looking towards somebody like Murray to go ahead and take that big next step. Herter had a great Game 7 against the Sixers when he was on the Hawks team, so I know that he can produce. I think though there's little things they can work on their game. Barnes he really did a self-detriment to himself, and he's going to lower the amount of money that he's going to get in the offseason. From his current state of play. What say you guys?
I appreciate the call, and of course, more than anything, thank you for your service. Long-time listener there. Yeah. So who?
Yeah, exactly. Athletic wing that can hit the corner three. I mean,
pass out of the corner. I mean, that's the thing. And of course, there's answers there, but I think Monty and Wes and friends are certainly going to establish what they need. But I again, as we've kind of talked about repeatedly, and we'll drive it into the ground, I think one advantage is there's a number of different things they can do, and everything's pointing to Harrison Barnes. That's your leap up. His contract's up, but they could very well re-sign the guy. By the way, they could re-sign Harrison Barnes to a lower contract and bring him off the bench. That's
true.
A lot of options, but if it was Barnes, you could move Murray up. You could move Murray, keep Murray there. You could move Sabonis, although I think that's less likely, up to the 4, Murray to the 3, and do a 5. I mean, really, you could add a 3, 4, or 5 in the starting lineup and make that work. And you also have the ability, whether you go Monk or Herter at the 2, or maybe there's a 2 out there that they want that blows us all away. They have options with, Fox is going to be the point guard. We know that. Most likely Sabonis is going to be the center with a 15% chance they move him to the fourth. They can get somebody who's just, crazy.
Right.
But they have options, Jason.
Yeah, they do. And, the other part is they just got to keep getting better all the way around with what they already have.
Mike Brown, speaking of the guy that's going to be the point guard, he was asked about De'Aaron Fox, and he gave, I think it was maybe his most thoughtful answer at the press conference.
He has, a chance to be elite. I've been around some elite players, and they just have something inside of them, and as well as all the other stuff, the skill set and talent and all that. And I thought Foxy had a chance to be great or really, really good. He surpassed that, and I think he has a chance to be elite. And it's going to be harder for him to get to that point, but I think he is more than capable, and I'm just excited to be a part of his journey, especially as close up as I am, and trying to help him get there, because when he does, Sacramento will be on fire. For a young guy, he hasn't been in situations a lot like he had this year on this level, where he can impact the game and get us over the hump in a lot of different ways. And so, when you're young, sometimes you have a tendency to say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna turn it on here, I'm gonna turn it on there. But great ones are on all the time. So that competitive spirit is always there, and not just when you feel it's needed or others feel like it's needed. And that at times truly takes a little bit of time to grasp or to comprehend. Even looking at a guy like Steph or a guy like LeBron, initially, yes, they were competitive and they did it this way and that way. But eventually it got to a point was it doesn't matter who's in front of me. It doesn't matter the situation. It's about me doing this all the time, because I know when I'm like this, I'm getting better. I'm becoming elite, like only a few people out there have ever reached or have been. But more than that, my teammates feel it, and they feel it all the time. And when they feel it, the pressure's on for them to be as good as they can, because they're going to follow my lead more than anything else.
And Mike Brown, coaches are going to always gas their own players.
Sure.
And Mike Brown, though, you listen to him, and either he's an Academy Award-winning actor or he truly believes this. And this is a guy that has coached LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. He's been around the elites, and he feels like Fox has the ability to fit into that group. High praise.
Yeah, and part of it is this a public challenge to De'Aaron too, to get to that space. I mean, that's what you try to do as a coach sometimes. And I think De'Aaron even said this earlier in the year. He's like, sometimes Mike says stuff that, man, I think he thinks he makes us believe we're better than we are sometimes, which is great. That's what you want a coach to do. But De'Aaron's shown these traits.
Yeah.
And I even love what De'Aaron said in his exit interview. He said something about, what he learned in this series. Like, look, we also learned that, they have Steph Curry.
Yes.
But that phrase could be in the future, well, they have De'Aaron Fox.
Right.
And I think De'Aaron can be in that group. I really do. He's not quite there, but he's not far from that. And where you would love to be in a game 7 where, as a Kings fan or something, like they have the best, like they're not going to lose, because like the way I watched that game, especially the way it started, Kings were up by 1 at the quarter and up by 2 at the half, and went, boy, I sure feel like Steph's not going to let this team lose. Now, I didn't think it would get out of hand the way it did, but I felt like he was going to do his part to make sure that was either a win or a really close game. And not that De'Aaron didn't try that, but I think it's to what Coach Brown said. It's the commitment to everything you do, from a drill in spring, in the preseason, to a game 7. You are competing at the highest of highest levels, and you raise the level of everyone else. And I think De'Aaron has that ability, at least the coach does, and I think that's exciting.
And there's an interesting group of paths that are in front of Monty McNair and the Kings right now. There's obviously the path we don't want, which is regression. I don't see that happening. But the two paths that I think are quite interesting, especially when you look at De'Aaron Fox, is De'Aaron Fox effectively taking the torch from Dame Lillard? And is that the player he's going to be? By the way, first ballot Hall of Famer and a wonderful player. And are the Kings on their way to being at least for a while, a perennial regular season, tough out 50-win team, second, third round playoffs, and then out type of Terry Stotts Trailblazers team, or Oklahoma City team with Durant and Westbrook, or you can insert a number of teams that
Utah with Quinn Snyder,
correct?
But yeah,
you're 2, 3, 4 right there, but never. Or are they that team that has Fox now, that has Sabonis? Maybe they've got their Klay Thompson or whatever, and Keegan Murray. Are the Kings that team that can either acquire the personnel or maybe already has most of it to become the San Antonio, the Cleveland, the Golden State, the Laker, elite of the elite championship contender? And it's great to have those options, but it's harder to get to the championship end than stay there than it is to get to the Portland mid-level Utah type. It'll be curious to see what they can do.
And you could argue the Kings kind of got to that in the early 2000s, though I thought they were really championship caliber.
Agreed.
Just they didn't win one.
We'll take a break. When we come back, who's hot, who's not, and we go streaking. Can Jay Mars extend his world record streak? We'll do that next. On Sactown Sports. Oh, the board is locked. Ladies and gentlemen, the board locked up.
Sactown Sports is Sacramento's new home for the San Francisco 49ers.
It feels awesome. We deserve this. Let's go, Niners!
Purdy
going to throw, and it is Kittle in the back of the end zone.
Samuel.
Debo 10. Debo. Touchdown!
And McCaffrey.
Touchdown! CMC!
They all live here on Sactown Sports,
your official home for 49ers football.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you find the right customers. Spread awareness of your product or services. We can help build trust in your brand and services with a digital marketing campaign. Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing campaigns that deliver results. Don't wait. Get started today. Contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results.
Great team. Where's the defense? Okay, everyone take a break. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store, asking, when is something too good to be true? When it probably is. And had I not experienced it for myself, this spectacular season would definitely qualify as too good to be true. So everyone out there in radio land, continue to enjoy. Something else that could seem too good to be true is Good Feet Arch Supports. But trust me, I've experienced firsthand the comfort, balance, and support possible with Good Feet Arch Supports. And so have countless others who have pretty much given up hope. It's time you felt good again. Take your feet to the Good Feet store for a free personalized arch support fitting and test walk. Experience for yourself the comfort, balance, and support missing in your life. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville, online at goodfeet.com.
Everyone knows Elk Grove Kia is home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on every new Kia. But did you also know that Elk Grove Kia is your one-stop place for used cars? I'm talking over 300 used cars available. With Kia's certified program, with its 165-point quality assurance inspection, we know peace of mind on used cars is important. And that's why we also offer extended service agreements on all our used makes and models. Most prices are under Kelley Blue Book retail. New car protection at used car prices. From used sports cars to used delivery delivery vans, we got them all at Elk Grove Kia. And our financing folks have over 100 years of combined experience. So we approve just about everyone. No credit, little credit, bad credit, no problem. And Elk Grove Kia is proud of our don't like it, bring it back guarantee for up to 3 days or 150 miles, no questions asked. Why would you buy your used car anywhere else? So check us out online at elkgrovekia.com today.
Turn your highway into a smile way. Elk Grove Kia.
It's the wine event of the year, the Lodi Wine Experience, May 19th and 20th. Mingle with the area's wine growers and winemakers at Friday's signature dinner, featuring the area's finest wines, freshly prepared cuisine by Sacramento's Sierra Coast Catering, and live music by the Big Crush Band. Don't miss the Lodi Wine Experience, May 19th and 20th, an iconic weekend of world-class wines, delicious food, and live music at Lodi Lake Park. Tickets at LodiWineExperience.com. Must be 21 and over.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Air and Solar, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
We got someone who's hot.
Who's hot?
Keegan
Murray.
Going into last night's second round games, there were 63 points combined for rookies in the playoffs, except for Keegan Murray.
Yeah.
He had 68.
Nice.
Oh, boy. That is
hot.
That is hot. You know what's not hot?
My next one?
Yeah.
LeBron James.
What?
He did not receive a vote for NBA MVP this season. This is the first time in his NBA career he didn't get a single vote for MVP.
Is he over the hill? Is he done?
Think so.
To piggyback, as I always love to do on your who's hot, who's not, Keegan Murray's wallet. You might have heard this nugget from, pun intended, from Jason Anderson yesterday. Apparently, Keegan Murray had to spend about $300 every road trip this year to get Chick-fil-A.
My pleasure.
For the team.
I see what you did there, Jason. I enjoyed it.
I like that. I wonder if they made him do anything. Like, did he have to carry like the Hello Kitty backpack?
I don't think they do that anymore, do they?
I think it's Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. I mean, $300.
Oof. Who was eating all that?
Alex Len.
Yeah.
Just crushing some
deli.
Yeah.
Yeah, something tells me
fries.
they don't just get like a value meal and keep it moving.
I wonder if that's just
Chick-fil-A's good.
Chick-fil-A is great.
Yeah.
But I wonder, like, is that what we would always see, like, in those nice drip photos when they'd be getting on the plane? They're all holding like plastic bags of food.
It's probably from Keegan,
because I'm guessing he buys it for the trip out, which is hilarious, being that those trips and those plane rides are catered.
Exactly.
They have like ovens with warm cookies and stuff.
Yeah,
on them.
but they're 25 and they can just mow down food and lose weight.
They want those. What if you had to get a bunch of sauces too? You know,
oh yeah,
you
no.
have to, right?
I'm sure the orders were like super particular.
I'll bet you that on that team plane, I'll bet you there's a cupboard or a fridge or something in there that is just stocked with Chick-fil-A sauces. Guarantee. He's not picking up 50 sauce. What do you need for $300 worth of nugs?
Yeah, it'd be worth buying the jar of sauce.
Right. You just
pour a couple of games worth, 10 games worth.
For more of our Chick-fil-A breakdowns, go over to SactownSports.com.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Enough of the suspense. Let's go streaking.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking! Yeah!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing?
We got to switch.
Streaking!
We got to switch them too from Chick-fil-A. Maybe they just haven't discovered Fire Wings yet.
That's true.
Whoever's the rookie next year, they should be buying $300 worth of Fire Wings.
And if they have any doubt about that, former King Harry Giles gave a huge endorsement.
Huge endorsement.
And they just buy all the different flavors.
Yeah. Just run the gauntlet, bring them on board, and there you go. That's it. Let's streak.
Well, let's recap first. Let everybody know what we were doing going into our selections yesterday. Dave, you were at 1, trying to get to 2. I was at 2, trying to get to 3. And Jay was at a very impressive new record of 8, trying to get to 9. So, Dave, we're going to start with you. Your selection was Jared Kalenic.
Yeah, the whole thing was, we talked about this earlier, it was let's pick somebody going against the A's. Oh, hey, here's their guy, Mason Miller. He's got a 6.8 ERA, no problem.
He's throwing with the wrong hand.
Right.
Wrong arm.
Kyle Madsen texted me last night. There's like 14 people at the game watching Miller throw a no-no through 7. Now, they pulled him. And the Mariners won 2-1.
You don't know what happened to you.
I do not know what happened.
Well, let's find out. Did Jared Kalenic get a hit?
Swing and a fly ball down the right field line and deep into the corner. Stay fair. It's a fair ball. Short hop off the wall. Caballero will score. Ty France to third. Kelnick in at second. Jared Kelnick with a 2-out RBI double.
Put on a hitting Kelnick last night.
Kelnick to 2 for you.
Put on a hitting Kalenic. Got a Kalenic.
So you're at 2.
That's it, 2.
All right.
Feeling good.
So I was at 2, trying to get to 3. I went deep down. I went for my team. The Yankees needed a boost. I went to the smooth swinging first baseman lefty Anthony Rizzo. Did he get a hit?
So here's Anthony Rizzo. That one is lined to right field. It's up, base hit.
That's a hit.
Gets it in, a 2-out single for Rizzo.
All right.
Well
so Dave,
done.
You're at 2. I'm at 3. But who cares about us?
Who cares about
we're talking about the real streaker here. Lot is on the line for J. Mars, who is at 8, trying to get to 9, and he went with Wander Franco.
Took 2 men on with 1 out. Wander Franco, couple double play balls. And that's a one-hopper through into center field.
Wow.
Here comes Margot. He will score. To third goes Siri.
That's an old game.
Yeah.
The Rays going to run and retake the lead.
Was that yesterday, Jay?
That was yesterday.
All right. Well, we all got hits.
Wow. Is that the first time ever? I don't know.
I don't know. No, the day before.
The day before we all got hits?
Yeah.
Well, hey.
So we're all on streaks.
We're all
Dave,
on
you're
streaks.
at 2. I'm at 3. Jay's at 9. My
9.
goodness. I'm stressed for Jay. So, Dave, you lead us off today on this May 3rd. Who are you going with to keep your streak alive?
Well, I'm going to try to play the odds. I'm going to go with Manny Machado of the Padres. The Padres taking on the Cincinnati Reds today. They are heavy favorites at home, and they're going against a pitcher, Luis Sessa, that has a 9.55 ERA.
Play the numbers.
Playing the numbers, baby.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Baltimore Orioles for the first time this year. I'm going to take Ryan Mountcastle.
Ooh.
I like the name. Wasn't that a show on ABC?
Mountcastle with
McCormick, Hardcastle and McCormick.
Hardcastle and Mount Cormick. Yeah,
Yes.
Castle. My wife loved Castle. I watched it for a while.
Yeah?
It was very, very good.
He was a writer?
Yeah, he was a writer
that worked with
who
the cops?
worked with. It was kind of like one of those mentalist things. Like he's a writer, but has this like great mind. It would help the girl. I forget her name, but man, huge crush on her.
Okay.
Solve mysteries and stuff. You ever watch The Mentalist? You know, show
No.
Oh, great show.
So
Wonderful show.
Ryan Mountcastle.
Ryan Mountcastle.
J. Mars to get to the first double-digit streak
ever.
Ever.
Let's go to the lovely city of Detroit,
Whoa.
Comerica Park. The Mets are visiting.
Oh, meet the Mets. Beat the Mets.
I believe Jeff McNeil will get a hit for the Metropolitans tonight.
Jay, how do you feel about being at 9 consecutive games with a hit?
I'm not gonna lie, the pressure's starting to really mount.
Yeah, the
Like,
media is going to be talking
yeah.
for requests. I mean, you're this is where it gets tough.
I mean, paparazzi hit me outside of my house this morning. That wasn't fun. So getting a little nervous. So if this streak continues, I may be on edge for this segment moving forward. So just FYI.
Pressure's there.
According to Scooter in the YouTube chat.
Dilly bars are on the line, folks.
Love dilly bars.
Yeah.
Big dilly bars.
Dilly.
Yeah. A's attendance last night announced 2,583.
And are you believing that number?
Oh God, no. No, I there was around 1,000 people there.
Honestly, if I was at that game, because baseball, you have some time, I probably would have counted.
Yeah.
Just walk around, go through.
No, just where I'm sitting. Just if we were all 3 there, I'm like, all right, I got 1, 2. I probably just would have started counting.
I mean, I will say it again.
More entertaining than the game.
A's games this year, say what you want about them, but it's one of the most unique values in sports. Sure, you're watching a minor league team, but you're also watching a major league team.
When are you going to get behind home plate? You did that last year.
Yeah, we talked about that. Weather gets better.
Okay.
Gonna take my dad, then take my wife. Do the same thing last year,
Nice.
and maybe number one son. I mean, those were
the only one, Dad.
Those seats were packed. Those seats are packed for every game because that's where the good
Value
stuff
is
happens.
good.
But, you drive up, you can park, walk in there. You're not going to have any lines in the bathrooms. Not many concession lines. You just kind of hang out, stretch out.
So is the team store empty?
No, I'm sure it's very full of memorabilia that is not selling right now with whatever. I mean, the hardest thing to sell in sports probably is an A's jersey of a current player.
Yeah.
Unless you're saying collector's item. But if you're an A's fan.
Might be a few Rucker jerseys coming off the racks.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a positive spin.
No, this isn't ripping the A's. It's not their fault. It's not the team's fault. It's not the players' fault, I should say. It's not the fans' fault. But no, I guarantee you this. I'll hit up more A's games than Giants games this year. I can promise you that.
Will you go to an A's Giants game this year?
They won't have those seats available. Yeah.
Giants fan will all be there.
Speaking of, exactly. Real quick, top 10 money list 2023 athletes. This includes endorsements, all off-field, off-court stuff, along with the earnings and all that stuff. Number 10, Kevin Durant, $89 million. Roger Federer at number 9, $95 million. Steph Curry, $100.4 million. Number 7, Phil Mickelson at $106 million.
Those live paychecks, man.
That's exactly what this is, because number 6, Dustin Johnson of Live, 107. Boxer Canelo Alvarez, $110 million.
Really? I guess that actually does make sense.
Number 4, LeBron James, $119.5 million.
Who's LeBron James?
He plays basketball. Number 3, Kylian Mbappe, $120 million, the soccer player. Number 2, Lionel Messi, who it sounds like he will be done at his team at the end of this year, maybe coming to America, probably not. Lionel Messi, $130 million. And number 1, Cristiano Ronaldo, $136 million. It's nice to be an athlete, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll take one. When we come back, speaking of athletes.
You do have to work out a lot, though.
I mean, fine. For that money, I'll work out twice a day. Swear to God. Speaking of. When
Not
we come
3,
back,
though. 3 is where you're jumping on.
That's it. When we return, a guy that used to make this money all the time, Kenny Thomas. He joins us next.
It's Cattles and Rami.
This is that's right. He's got his shirt on, ladies and gentlemen. It's a Sacramento Kings shirt. Let's go. Oh, Boston boy. Let's go. Boston Nick got out the Kings shirt. Look at that. Let's go. You went out and spent money on that too, didn't you?
No.
Oh.
But let's go.
Cattles and Rami. Weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell. Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Sacramento area attorneys. 500 Cap.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find: happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah. Your one-stop Honda shop.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network. Now look at some of the rule changes this year. Through the games of April 27th, game times reduced by 28 minutes, from 3 hours 4 minutes to 2:36. Stolen base attempts are up about a half an attempt per game. The percentage has risen from 75% to 80%. Now no shifting, batting average on balls in play from 290 to 296. Ken Korak here, introducing you to the Xfinity 10G network. Xfinity is undergoing a multi-year network evolution, giving you a powerful connection today while building toward a faster, more reliable tomorrow. The Xfinity 10G network gives you the fastest internet with even faster speeds rolling out all the time. You also get a consistent and reliable connection when everyone's online, even during peak hours. That's a home run. If you want to learn more, go online at xfinity.com/10G.
When you hear the words, the whole store is on sale, if you're like me, you're thinking, this is worth my attention. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word or two about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Right now, Naturewood's whole store is on sale during their exceptional home sale. Now your mind is probably doing backflips trying to decide where to start. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Or maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, or accents and accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide home sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stickley, Artisan Home, Stanton, Flex Steel, Omnia, and all the rest of our award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable home sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
KHTK AM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your home for the Sacramento Kings.
It's Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good morning with your Sactown Sports headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The NBA playoffs continued last night with the New York Knicks tying their series with the Miami Heat after a 111-105 Game 2 victory. That series moves to Miami Saturday, where the Heat hope to have Jimmy Butler back from an ankle injury. The game of the night, though, was on the West Coast, as for the first time since 1989, the Warriors and Lakers matched up, with LA getting a big Game 1 win on the road.
117-112. LeBron James, 22 and 11. Anthony Davis, 30 points, 23 rebounds.
On the diamond, the Mariners beat the A's 2-1 despite Oakland starting pitcher Mason Miller throwing a no-hitter through 7 innings. And the Giants took out the defending champion Astros with a little help from catcher Blake Sable.
First pitch to Blake, swung on. That ball's driven to left field. Julks back, looking up. It's off the wall. Peterson around third. He's going to score. Conforto cruises into third. The throwback into the infield. And Blake Sable allowed RBI double to make it 2-0 Giants.
Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Welcome in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. That is it. That is the program. Thank you so much. Well, wait, we have one more hour. We have one more hour, and sitting down, with his New Mexico hoodie on, sitting down with his. Oh, we do have breaking news. Yes, we do. Just in time for Kenny to come on. You got the stinger? Play
You signed me.
Have it first.
It's Sactown Sports breaking news.
Sacramento Kings General Manager Monty McNair has been named Executive of the Year. I was really hoping that would happen. That's such good news. Congratulations to Monty, Wes Wilcox, everybody associated with that front office, and of course the players, the coaching staff. It truly is a team award. Kenny,
NBC Sports California team. You can thank us too. Appreciate it.
You guys did a wonderful job. Monty would not be there today if it wasn't for your guys' hard-hitting analysis. But honest to God, great timing because as you sit down, we start the interview there. So we have the unanimous coach of the year. We don't know what the executive of the year voting was. I'm going to guess it wasn't unanimous, but still, he wins it. And then we got a couple of all-stars, a couple of top 10, top 11 MVP votes with Fox and Sabonis. What a year, Kenny.
Man, it was a great year. It was actually my bad. Good morning, my guy.
Good morning.
What's up,
Good morning.
It was nice because we actually had Monty up like during the playoffs. It was one of the home games. I forget which one it was, but we were talking about him getting executive of the year. And obviously the nice guy that he is, he said it was a team effort, right? It's everybody in the organization, even starting with the owner. And I just love the fact that he's open to evolving, and he took a chance this year. Last year, actually, by trading Tyrese for Sabonis, and everybody thought he was kind of nuts to a certain extent. But I think it came out good for the Kings, especially getting a guy in Sabonis. And look at the season that they had, man. It was an amazing year this year.
Yeah, I even think back, Kenny, to Monty's run just this year specifically. Remember, it was, Dave, what was it, December or January when he finally got extended? Like, he was still in the final year of this. And Kenny, it turned out for Monty, and I'm sure he probably shared some of that with you guys, just for him to have, and this team to have really a dream year. I know it didn't go as far as they wanted at the end, but from the beginning to where they got to, it had to probably even surprise you, right?
I think it surprised everybody, right? Because it kind of came out of nowhere. And I think there was a lot of pieces that came into play with it. And it wasn't just Mike Brown. It wasn't just Monty. The players have to buy in, and people don't realize that. Coming with the new coach coming in, you have to buy into the philosophy. You have to be willing to sacrifice, like a guy like Lynn, like a guy like Holmes. And for a minute there were some other guys that weren't playing, like TD. And then TD came out and had a great game in one of the games towards the end. And it starts with everybody, man.
It does. And when you look at it's funny when you talk about executive of the year, Kenny, because I think 4 years from now, we're going to look back on what happened specifically this year, and it's going to be like Danny Ainge was the executive of the year. You know, it's a lot of what these execs have done in months and years past, and I like the way they did this with Monty because this year it's been adding the coach of the year. It's been drafting Keegan Murray, signing Malik Monk, trading for Kevin Huerter, and that in itself is enough. But as you mentioned earlier, having the cojones to trade Tyrese Halliburton for Domantas Sabonis. It's one of the ballsiest moves I've seen in the NBA in a while.
Huge, because for a minute there, De'Aaron Fox was even in there. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God he didn't make that transaction happen. But it turned out good. The fact that De'Aaron Fox is that guy that not only is he a clutch player, but he's somebody that needs to be reckoned with, right? From the standpoint of this guy's amazing, especially in the open court with his speed, right? And the fact that how he's gotten to the point to where it's kind of amazing how he's left-handed, and then that throws people off because you're used to guarding right-handed guys to a certain extent. It's like a Lamar Odom, right? I had to guard him, and then I had to be very mindful of him being left-handed. But the way De'Aaron Fox attacks the paint, man, it's unreal. And that mid-range or that 8-footer that he has, it's unbelievable. And he's developed that so well. And I can't wait to see the pieces that are going to be added, especially with like HB, like what's going to happen there. And then you got Trey Lyles. I really hope they sign Trey Lyles back because I feel like he's like a big cornerstone to their future. So
yeah,
my thoughts.
Yeah, well, can I get your opinion on that, on Harrison? Because I think you can make plenty of arguments to bring him back. I don't think there's reasons to push him out. It would be if you feel you upgrade. That's tough. You know, Monty's now executive of the year. Those are tough decisions he has to make. Just your opinion. What would you do with Harrison Barnes?
Well, Harrison is a big piece. Harrison, I think he had a great career, and he does have that experience to where when the Kings get back to the playoffs next year, he's going to be a big piece of that. And I think this was a learning experience for all of them. But when it comes to HB, man, he makes a lot of money, right? And it's going to come down to, are you going to pay him the same? Is HB going to want more? Is he willing to take a pay cut? Is he willing to, if Monty brings in another guy that's younger that could possibly pop into his position, is he willing to do that? Or even one of the guys that's on the team right now stepping into that starting role. It's one of those things. It just depends on, it's going to come down to Monty and what they're thinking, right? But you got to keep in mind, HB's what, 32, 33?
Yeah.
There comes a time, man, trust me, I know, to where you don't want to hear this, but it's coming to an end at some point, and you got to be mindful of that. And then your role might change to where you're being that OG or that old head for the younger guys. That's just my opinion.
Kenny Thomas with us. By the way, Monty McNair with 16 first-place votes, 98 overall. Kobe Altman of Cleveland was second. 7 first place votes, 63 overall. So Monty won it by a pretty decent margin, and the two of them were significantly ahead of third. We always say Danny Ainge, Justin Zanuck's GM, but we know who's calling a lot of the shots there. Zanuck was in third, 20 points total. So it was really McNair running away with it, followed by Kobe Altman, and then everybody else. A little surprising here, Rob Pelinka, one second place, one third place vote, for a total of 4 down the list. I honestly thought with the market, Kenny, with the moves that he did make, and I've been really hard on Rob Pelinka in the past, but this Laker team right now, you see him yesterday against the Warriors. This is not the Laker team they started the year out with, not by a long shot. And you have to tip your cap to him a little bit for making those moves.
You talking about the Lakers?
Yeah, I'm talking about Pelinka.
The Lakers totally upgraded with getting D'Angelo Russell. He's a guy that's always been aggressive, and he started out at one point he played with the Lakers, and then he left, right? And obviously LeBron James saw something in him to like bring him back, even though Rob is a GM. We all know who's calling the shots over there, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to the Lakers and seeing that game last night, it's like, come on, man. Like the Kings are supposed to be right there. And here the Warriors are playing the Lakers and just had a battle with the Kings. And it's like, okay, we all thought that the Warriors are going to come out and play better and take game 1. I know I did, especially how they just played against the Kings in game 7. And when it comes to Monty, man, running away with that is kind of a no-brainer, especially when you have 4 starters that were in the All-Star game. And then you bring in the most amazing head coach ever, the guy that I've known since I was like 19, 20 years old. And you're just an amazing person, man. And I'm excited for the coaching staff with the Sacramento Kings. It got a nice little staff, but Doug Christie's there. And as you know, Jordy, what's the Coach Brown's
Jordy Fernandez.
Yeah, it's Jordy. You know, there's opportunities there for him to possibly leave and go. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Kenny, Coach Brown, we played a bunch of his clips and even some of the players from yesterday and kind of their exit meetings. Coach Brown talked about what they've done has been a huge leap, but that next leap isn't as large, but it's more difficult. How about that part of getting better where they already are? They've really done a lot of the hard work, but that next level jump is a considerable jump. How do you think the Kings do that?
I think where he's coming from, it's like, hey, you guys made it to the playoffs this year, and you guys got to get back there. It can't come off like it's a fluke the next year. You were a 3 seed. They can't be a play-in team. They have to be a playoff team to where that's going to help them get over that adversity. That's going to allow them to be able to grow and know that they can do it, right? And then it's going to transform into possibly winning a championship, which has always been that goal that Mike Brown's always talked about. Like everybody's like all happy that they made the playoffs, but I'll never forget, I won't forget this. And he said that our season starts after All-Star weekend, and we have to capitalize on this and let people know that we're right here. And I feel like it's going to take a lot of hard work because they got to get better on defense in a lot of different areas. And I think that's what's going to be able to help them get over that hump.
The hard hatter himself. Now you got summer coming up, Kenny. We got to get out on the golf course. I know we keep talking about that, but now we can, except not when it's like 105. I can't do that. But thank you.
Me and Kyle went out yesterday. We played Hagen Oaks.
Yeah,
how'd it go?
Last minute. Yeah, it was okay. We kind of both played bad, but I mean, we had fun. There was a lot of balls we got to hit pretty good. So, man, the hard hat is going in the closet.
For a few months.
I would love to still be able to keep coming on with you guys during the playoffs if you want me to.
No, sorry.
Oh, you suck, Dave. I didn't contact you for a reason. I contact Jason, okay, Dave?
I just want to see if you're listening. Kenny,
are you kidding me?
Of course, we'd love you. And I'll let Jay and Jason work all that out. But honestly, seriously, thank you for coming on all year. Thank you. You're the best promoter I know. You're the Ringling Brothers or whatever of promoting radio appearances. I always see you working hard and hustling on the Instagram and all that. We appreciate all your insight this year.
Yeah, of course. You guys let me know. And then if not, for sure next year. I'm down.
Yep, you got it, my man. Take care, Kenny. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, cool. I'll talk to you guys. Appreciate you both. And the guy in the back. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Hey, guy. Oh, that's fantastic. That's going to stick around for a while.
Yeah, it will.
Well,
That's a keep up.
All right, we'll take a break.
Hold on, we have breaking news.
Uh-oh. What?
Kenny will not be coming back for the remainder of the playoffs.
It's like good vibrations.
Shut up, Jason.
Oh, that's fantastic. We'll take a break. When we come back, we've got a couple of things. Joel Embiid wins the MVP. We'll get some input from the guy in the back.
And Monty.
And Monty McNair will break that down. Also, Dylan Brooks. There are odds out as to where he's going to sign next. You may want to pull your car over. You may want to put on a seatbelt. We'll tell you when we get back on SactownSports.com.
Are you ready to hear this on Sactown Sports?
Hand off McCaffrey. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Or how about this?
Feel super, baby! The five-time Super Bowl champions, and they're looking for number 6.
Catch every Niners game during the 2023 season.
On your home for the 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
The folks at M&S Auto know that inflation is tough on everybody. If you need an excellent, gently used car or truck, M&S has hundreds of vehicles on the lot on El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. M&S customers get great deals and they save thousands. Get a great deal now on super clean 4x4s, including Tacomas, Silverados, and Jeeps, and muscle cars, Challengers, Teslas, Mustangs, and even the occasional McLaren. M&S Auto, msautogroup.com.
Jiffy Lube's Country in the Park, Northern California's biggest country music festival of the year, is back this weekend at Cal Expo, starring Lady A, Chris Young, Brett Eldridge,
What you doing, baby? Don't you? Don't you?
and so many more. Plus a Blue Scoot Line Dance Saloon, interactive lounges, and Sacramento's best food trucks. Weekend passes start at just $80. Tickets are on sale now at SactownSports.com. Country in the Park, brought to you by International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 340, and Stonies of Rock and Rodeo.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Congratulations to Monty McNair.
That's so cool.
That really, I mean, listen, super happy for everyone. Super happy for every single person involved. But, and everyone who's gotten an award and blah, blah, blah. But so cool, man. So cool. Because they really, that is a tough award. Because it's like, well, executive of the year this year, but the Sabonis trade was last year. It's just he's had 2 banger years in a row. And I just want to take a moment because it wasn't that long ago, Jason. It wasn't that long ago, guy in the back, that we were in the studio to our right, your left, recording an emergency interview with Monty McNair because the whole freaking city was about to riot because they hadn't done anything.
Yeah.
And Monty comes on and goes, I'm not going to rush this. If you want to be mad at somebody, don't be mad at Vivek. Don't be mad at who. Be mad at me. We want to make moves that will set this team up consistently in the long run. And honestly, to me, screw hiring Mike Brown and drafting Keegan Murray, all that stuff, which is enough to be in contention on its own. I want to go back to the fact that this guy, walking into a year where he was a lame duck.
Yeah.
He's about to have, I don't know, I think his 14th kid. Can't stop having kids. Guy's got a huge family. He's young. This is his first gig. And you know what? You may not get another one. He knows he's coming up on a lame duck year. He knows that the Kings have the record for playoff utility.
Yeah.
And what guarantees you another contract? Making the playoffs. What's going to help you make the playoffs? Mortgage the farm. Get rid of all the picks you can. Make some huge, splashy Minnesota 4 first-round pick for Rudy Gobert type of move. And Monty said, I'm not going to do that. I'm I'm not going to mortgage the farm. Oh, and I'm also going to make an incredibly controversial trade and trade my first ever draft pick, who was the steal of the draft, who's universally beloved and thought to be a future superstar, who he loved. I'm going to trade him for this other guy. I'm going to give up one heavily protected first-round pick, which, by the way, at this time next year is going to be, Kevin Huerter basically getting traded for a mid-20s pick.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep the war chest together, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I can't stress enough, Jason, how cool it is that he didn't put his own ambitions first, and that's not common.
And you also have to hear it, right? When he made the trade, the win now trade, and I know he told us and other people, but not everybody heard that look, this was not a win now trade. They wanted to win now. They wanted to make the playoffs last year. That was part of the goal. That didn't happen, but it really set them up for what they did this year and for years to come. Now they still have to sign Sabonis, but I'm sure that's 100% on their radar. But what they've done is redirected everything. Everything we just played today with Mike Brown, everything we played yesterday, the vibe, the culture, the soul, whatever you want to talk about it, is so positive. It feels so good. And it does not appear to be a one-hit wonder. Not to me.
No. They also, by the way, have pretty good cap space.
Mm-hmm.
They've got, even though I want to caution everybody, he's not the savior of the world, most likely, but Sasha Vezenkov, who Sean Cunningham reported is likely to come over here next year.
Okay.
They have a mid-20s draft pick.
Right.
They've got free agency on the horizon. He's got many, many more arrows in his quiver right now.
Yeah. And a young, basically the core of the group is young.
Yes.
And developing and experiencing, and went through a great series, a tough series to lose, but a great one, and has to be utilized as a learning tool. If it is, then they should be better for it. That's what you want. If you're 100%. Going to lose, you want to be better for what you went through. And I think Mike Brown said it. Some of the players, maybe unfortunately they had to go through that. I don't know if they had to lose, but they went through it the way it did. Credit to the Warriors. And now you hope they take from that.
Jason, you were not a proponent of the Rudy Gobert trade to Minnesota for 97 assets. Somebody in whoever votes on this is executives that vote on this?
Yeah.
Oh, he probably voted for himself then.
Yeah, half the league got a vote. 15 people got a vote.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
1 point, 1/3 place vote went to Tim Connolly in Minnesota.
That's a reputation vote, if not his own.
No, that's Tim Connolly's vote. I'm sure
that's
of it.
Ridiculous. Listen, Tim Connolly is.
Or is it forgetting Mike Conley later?
Yes.
Not the first part.
It's.
Okay, so you're voting for 3 GMs and your 3rd place vote goes to Connolly because you're like, man, that Mike Conley trade
I don't know how
turned everything around.
I think Conley is either the highest paid or the second highest paid GM in the league, along with Masai Ujiri. Remember this Minnesota ownership too. That's Alex Rodriguez and his buddy that took over from Glenn Taylor. So they've got this new ownership that's signing off on all this stuff too. And Tim Connolly does have a good reputation. He does have history, but woof.
I'm looking at this. If I have this right, quickly looking at it, 3 GMs who got votes didn't make the playoffs. Utah.
Yeah.
Justin Zanuck,
which I'm okay with that.
He was 3rd. Let's see who else. Sam Presti.
Yeah.
And then David Griffin in New Orleans.
And I kind of
is the Presti thing more of a cumulative thing, you think, there because of what they did this year, expectations versus what reality was?
They made the play-in. They weren't supposed to be anywhere near that. They were supposed to be in the Wembanyama sweepstakes, but also what Presti has gathered and developed. I'm okay with him getting a 3rd place vote. And in New Orleans, Griffin's done a good job there in maneuvering around. Let's remember a lot of injuries, including Zion Williamson. I'm just glad Monty ran away with it. It was actually a little bit more of a distance than one would think. I want to get to this to pay it off. Dylan Brooks is not returning to Memphis. They have released odds now on what Dylan Brooks' next team will be. Number 5, Minnesota, plus 700. This means if you put $100 down, you win 700 if he signs with Minnesota.
Looks like Kyle Anderson might have someone new to punch.
Brooks could help.
Or Gobert, excuse me.
Brooks could help fill the void left by Jared Vanderbilt when they was traded to the Lakers between Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns.
He feels like a T-Wolf.
He does have a
Wolves
T-Wolf
can
vibe.
generate offense.
Yeah.
They could use a stronger presence on the defensive perimeter. Number 4, the Houston Rockets.
Ew.
Yeah, plus 600. Not necessarily thinking Brooks fits the timeline, but new head coach Ime Udoka made clear he expects some progress in his first year, wants to make moves to help. They could certainly use Brooks' veteran presence and someone with his strength on the floor. Number 3, the Portland Trailblazers, plus 550, self-explanatory. They need all the defensive help they can get. Also brings him back to Oregon, where he started college for the Ducks.
Oh, okay.
Number 2, at plus 450, the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah.
Record-setting offense, desperately lacking on the defensive end. That was apparent in Game 7. Brooks doesn't fix all their woes on that end. They need a rim protector, but he can't hurt. The favorite to sign Dylan Brooks, and this makes so much sense, the Dallas Mavericks, because of course.
I mean, you look at it, it's a team, and not just a team, an overall franchise that has really good culture.
Yes.
That can come in,
yes,
bring him under their wing,
and
just kind of, I think that's really it. He needs to go to a place with a good culture.
Very
Dallas,
calm personalities,
yes, 100%.
Quiet players. Oh, please let that happen. Oh, please let that happen.
With an appearance on Shark Tank.
We'll take a break when we come back. What to watch tonight, and we'll give you more thoughts on last night's playoff games as well. Don't go away. Crosstalk coming up as well with Kyle and Chris next.
Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track, makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates. It's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, movie fans, the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento is now serving adult beverages. Playing this week, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, an IMAX 2D and 3D experience.
It's time to save the universe.
Let's give the galaxy something to remember us by.
See Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 on the largest screen in Sacramento. Visit IMAX.com/Sacramento for tickets and reserved seating. Select showtimes in 3D. Plus, join the free IMAX Directors Club to receive special member pricing on tickets and more at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs.
How do your clients know that?
Because Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, the highest standard for a financial advisor. It means we're there for our clients and always put their interests first.
So wait, you do it because you have to?
No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. Our clients trust us with their retirement savings, and we know how important that responsibility is. So we take the time to really get to know them.
Get to know them how?
We make sure we understand their unique goals, finances, health, family, and lifestyle so we can tailor their portfolio to their specific needs. Our goal is to help them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility. You must make big commissions then, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We have one single transparent fee that's structured so we do better when our clients do better. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you are switching to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
The newest, most exciting race cars are coming to WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, May 12th through 14th for the Motul Course de Monterey, powered by Hyundai. North America's premier sports car series brings intense wheel-to-wheel racing. And there's plenty of family fun, too, including go-karts, a Ferris wheel, and a kids zone. Get your tickets now by calling 831-242-8200. That's 831-242-8200. Or visit WeatherTechRaceway.com. Enjoy Mother's Day weekend, May 12th through 14th in beautiful Monterey.
Great team, great team. Where's the defense? Defense! Okay, everyone take a break. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store, asking when is something too good to be true? When it probably is. And had I not experienced it for myself, this spectacular season would definitely qualify as too good to be true. So everyone out there in radio land, continue to enjoy. Something else that could seem too good to be true is Good Feet Arch Supports. But trust me, I've experienced firsthand the comfort, balance, and support possible with Good Feet Arch Supports. And so have countless others who have pretty much given up hope. It's time you felt good again. Take your feet to the Good Feet store for free personalized arch support, fitting, and test walk. Experience for yourself the comfort, balance, and support missing in your life. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville, online at goodfeet.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
Good morning with your Sactown Sports headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The NBA playoffs continued last night with the New York Knicks tying their series with the Miami Heat after a 111-105 Game 2 victory. That series moves to Miami Saturday, where the Heat hope to have Jimmy Butler back from an ankle injury. The game of the night, though, was on the West Coast, as for the first time since 1989, the Warriors and Lakers matched up, with LA getting a big Game 1 win on the road.
117-112. LeBron James, 22-11. Anthony Davis, 30 points, 23 rebounds.
On the diamond, the Mariners beat the A's 2-1 despite Oakland starting pitcher Mason Miller throwing a no-hitter through 7 innings. And the Giants took out the defending champion Astros with a little help from catcher Blake Sable.
First pitch to Blake, swung on, that ball's driven to left field. Jolks back, looking up, it's off the wall. Peterson around third, he's going to score. Conforto cruises into third, the throwback into the infield, and Blake Sable allowed RBI double to make it 2-0 Giants.
Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
Joel one-on-one spins by one man down the lane and a slam. He eats up the rim. A two-hand stump, a quick turn, a catch and a go, and a dunk. 54 Embiid.
Joel Embiid wins MVP. And while we're talking awards, congratulations to Monty McNair. If you're just joining us or turning on the radio, your executive of the year, to go with your coach of the year, to go with your clutch player of the year, to go with what is probably going to be both your All-NBA players and Fox and Sabonis. By the way, should put this out there too. Paul Johnson, executive of the year.
Yeah.
Stockton Kings.
Yeah.
So as Chris Watkins tweeted out not that long ago, who we'll be talking to here in a few minutes, stacking awards.
And they deserve it. And what's great is almost everybody that's won something when they've been asked or had referenced it at some point when people would ask him, the chances, like Coach Brown has credited the players, his staff. Yeah. Monty will credit Wes and their staff. I mean, but it's how it's done. It's never the one person. It's the whole group. And I feel like they've done everything as a group and tried to include the fans, tried to include the community. That's the appeal, I think, of Mike Brown, and certainly Monty's part of that. All these guys. It's just been fun.
I know these awards don't exist, but it would be kind of cool if they did. One of them, at least. And I guarantee you the Kings would win both. I'm dead serious. If they had a team culture award, like most fun team, like all the you couldn't vote for your own team. and let's say you got to do the players on this. Players got to vote on what team looked like they were having the most fun and getting along the best and that you'd love to play for if you weren't playing for your own team. Kings are going to run away with that. And then if they have, maybe they do, it's probably internal, but some sort of like marketing of just nobody else has the beam.
Right.
Nobody else has the defensive player of the game chains. Nobody has any of that stuff. There's just so many really special things that happened with the Sacramento Kings this year. And yeah, it didn't work out in the playoffs, but again, in the end, they took the defending champion dynastic Warriors to a 7-game series. There was a game 7 at Golden One Center. Doco was packed.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
I always wondered, I don't know if an opposing player has been asked this yet too, Dave, but I always thought like maybe the first time you come here this year specifically and Keegan scores and you hear the
Keegan Murray.
Like, are you going, what was that?
What was that?
What
I want that.
What happened there? Yeah. Do they do this? Oh, he scored again. Keegan, like it's really cool for Keegan, I think, but just I wonder what other players think of stuff like that. The beam, like everything that they do here.
Remember the end of Jerry Maguire where Jerry and Cuba Gooding Jr., they just fought through everything and stuck with each other through the bad times. Then Cuba Gooding Jr. gets hurt. They come through. He's laughing. He's smiling. Rod Tidwell, thank you. And then they're on Roy Firestone at the very end. And
you're gonna make me cry.
Then the contract comes over, and you see him have this emotional hug. And then you see Jay Moore's character, and he kind of like Troy Aikman, I think it was, says, "Why don't we have a relationship like that?" And he like kind of does the whole like Troy pushes him away. Yeah. I feel like that's how other players look at the Kings.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we have a Keegan Murray?
Right.
Why don't we have a Chant? Why don't we have a Beam? Why don't we have any of that stuff? And that goes to Mike Brown talking about, we played this earlier, about identity.
We do feel like we established who we are, not just in our own minds, but in others too, because and then how we're going to play. So we establish an identity, and 95% of the times, teams that have an opportunity to be great, they know who they are. They know how they're going to play. And we as a staff feel that, the organization feels it, the community feels it, but more importantly, our players feel it. And any other players out there that are watching, whether they're in college now, guys overseas, guys on other teams, when they look at the Sacramento Kings, they feel that this is a fun brand of basketball to play, and it's the right way to play. And when you start having that, and it's truly something that you believe in and others believe in, everybody gravitates towards it. And when that happens, the sky's the limit.
Joel Embiid wins the MVP. We did talk about that. Interesting graph put out here. Regular season to postseason. This is obviously a regular season award. Nikola Jokic, 24.5 points in the regular season. He's averaging 27.7. That's about a 3-point increase. Embiid, 33.1 to 20. He's dropped 13 points. What I find very interesting, though, during the regular season, the Denver Nuggets were 5-8 in games they did not play with Nikola Jokic. The Philadelphia 76ers were 11-5 without Joel Embiid. When you add in the playoffs, they're 13-5 without Joel Embiid. They're obviously, it's like the John Morant thing. They're not a better team without Joel Embiid. Let's not get silly, but record-wise, they were this year.
Yeah.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah, that's interesting. You know how they do in golf, where it's the best player to never win a major? Like someone has that title, and then they. Who's the best current player to not win an MVP?
Is it Dame Lillard?
I have Dame in my head.
Kawhi, yeah.
He's a really terrific player, and there's reasons why he hasn't won a league MVP.
Obviously, De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis.
Yeah,
no doubt. Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Because there's some Anthony Davis.
Okay.
He's a good player.
I think the injuries have hurt him a little bit, no pun intended.
But I mean, there's some really, and they've pushed Luka for 3 years now.
Yeah.
And maybe he'll get one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You feel like he's gonna.
Russ
Westbrook? No, he won an MVP.
Yeah. Durant,
yeah.
And you think about will Durant go down like Shaq and Kobe did, where they won one, and you're like, Durant's one of the greatest players ever.
Right. Just happened to luck of the draw, roll of the dice. Tyler, you're on with Jason Ross and Carmichael Dave. Hey, Tyler.
How you doing?
Good.
I just have a quick question. You guys are talking about free agents and next year. Do you think there's any way Alex Len walks and Kayte has a bigger role next year?
Yeah, I do, actually. I think that's a very reasonable thought there. I think they're developing Kayte. They have high hopes for him. And he's still relatively young, and not that Alex Len isn't, especially in the playoffs. He certainly showed a lot of life and a lot of upside. People forget Alex Len was the 5th pick of the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Not that that means anything necessarily, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's a coin flip if Len's back.
Yeah, I mean, you said it right on Kayte. It's the development, and they've played him a lot in Stockton, and it's about he is the rim protector, shot blocker that this team could need.
Yeah.
Now, if you can get a better one, you do it. But as at this point, he's under your control. You've groomed him. Hopefully, he's ready to take that leap.
We'll take a break. When we come back, Celebrity Birthdays brought to you by Crumble Cookies. We'll find out what day of the week it is nationally. And news and notes, including, we talked about the A's earlier. I know the A's attendance thing is such a tired thing. But I got some stats for you, at least a stat from last night that it's just so sad. We'll get to that more next.
It was an amazing season for the Sacramento Kings. The coach of the year.
These honors don't come around often, and so you're very appreciative of them.
The clutch player of the year.
Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
And a return to the playoffs for the first time in 17 years.
16 seasons of frustration. Sacramento has clinched the playoffs.
Keep it on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com for all your Kings off-season news.
Ace fans need Friday night plans? Well, we got you covered. Get 4 tickets and parking for any Friday night game starting at just $49 with the Friday 4-pack presented by Chevrolet. Save big and enjoy great matchups, post-game fireworks and drone shows, giveaways, and more this 2023 season.
He drills one to right, way back, and no doubt, and that quickly the A's have taken the lead. Second deck.
Friday night tickets are available at athletics.com/value. That's athletics.com/value.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. Spring officially here. And with the long, cold, and rainy winter behind us, I'm sure you're counting the days until summer. But don't wait until it's hot to make sure your air conditioner is working efficiently and, most importantly, safely. Get ahead of the problem with a $49 AC tune-up from American Energy Heat and Air. There's nothing worse than your air conditioner going out when it's hot outside. Get a tune-up today and make sure you and your family are comfortable and cool in your home for the hot summer months that are right around the corner. Give them a call, 916-520-9990, or schedule your appointment online at AmericanEnergyAir.com. Better Business Bureau, A+ rating. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. Easy, convenient payment options, same as cash, low monthly payments through financing partners. What do you need? 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Carbine that electrifying, yes, a great ride and go. You'll be smiling, help grow. Get your motor in, open road in, whip down, turn it into a highway. The Elk Grove Kia peace of mind guarantee. Here's a 20-year or 200K warranty. No hassle, no worry. You bet you'll ask anybody who can turn your highway into a smile way.
Spring is here, and Elk Grove Kia has some incredible offers, like the all-new all-electric EV6 for just $549 plus tax. What about the sporty Nero EV all-electric, just $397 plus tax? Worried about credit? Don't! Elk Grove Kia's team has over 100 years of combined finance experience. Bad credit? No problem. Elk Grove Kia says yes when others say no. Both payments are examples of 36-month leases, $3,999 customer cash with signing plus DMV registration and taxes, 10 day per year, 20 cents per mile, over subject to Kia finance approval, 720 plus FICO score to qualify. Offer expires 4/30/2023. One with this payment, 6G, Kayte 6090
Euro EDGK 8598.
Elk Grove Kia.
Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than freshly baked and home-delivered crumble cookies.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
All right, and Kyle Madsen and Chris Watkins and the guy in the back and all of y'all. Welcome in. I'll start with this. Just rip the Band-Aid off, Kyle. You know me well enough to know that I'm a Giants fan, but I really do think the whole A's thing is absolute trash, garbage trash.
Yeah.
And what they're doing to fans like you and what they're doing to just the mockery of baseball in general.
I'm decked out in Nationals
I
gear.
know, right? Exactly. All right, other fans. That's a good point. Obviously, the A's attendance is that's something you see the pictures, the videos, all that. Last night, the announced attendance was 2,583 fans. That's less than their AAA, AA, and A affiliates averaged last season.
Well, that tracks.
Yeah, at a major league ballpark playing a major league team. And as you, again, let me know last night who had a no-no going through 7. And by the way, you were wrong. It was 2-1, not 3-1.
What
the
an
Mariners
idiot.
came back.
I was rooting way off. I was rooting so hard for the Mariners to score a run in the ninth.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, boy. Will you go to a game this year?
Yes. Yeah. I have tickets to go on May 17th.
I mean, no.
It's a Wednesday afternoon game against the Diamondbacks. I can't wait. It's going to be me and
That
6 of my
rivalry?
closest friends.
I was talking about this earlier. Like, it was
Throw the records out.
No joking whatsoever. But hey, you can still park right up there. You can still walk right in the Coliseum. Concession lines, bathroom lines, all that. You can stretch
Dude,
out.
I love the Coliseum. I love going and watching games at the Coliseum.
I do too. 100%. Will Z Stats put this out here. Kevin Herter's total miles ran per season. 1920, 134.
1920.
2019. I know he's old. 2020, 2021, 158. 21-22, 158.9. This season, he ran 170.5 miles.
Training for a marathon?
It's got to be tired.
I think so. This might surprise a lot of you. According to reports, Antonio Brown is accused of not paying his arena football team coaches and players.
Get out of town. What?
As a result of not getting paid, the head coach and players have quit, including the reigning league MVP. He also locked disgruntled players out of hotel rooms and did not give them their keys.
Okay, but enough about John Fisher.
Yeah. Right. Worst owner, John Fisher or Antonio Brown?
Ooh, toss up. Yeah.
What if John Fisher sold the A's to Antonio Brown? Are you happy or sad?
Sad.
Yeah.
Very sad. Very sad.
Would Antonio Brown show up in a hot air balloon, though?
Yes. That's a great point right there.
Yes.
Darden. It's just Darden. That's the name of the
That's
company.
the Lakers head coach, Darden Ham.
Let's put it this way. Ruth's Chris has been sold. The restaurant chains. 154 Ruth's Chris chains. Anyone want to take a guess how much it was sold for? 154 Ruth's Chris.
More than a steak.
More than not much though.
No
Does this include the steaks?
Yeah, all
And
the
the wine.
inventory, right.
A lot of good wine.
Okay, so they didn't just get the buildings.
$1 billion.
$715 million. And if you don't know who Darden is, I'll put it a different way. Ruth's Chris was just sold for $750 million to Olive Garden.
Oh no!
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden.
All you can eat steak, prime rib.
One of my in rap the artist will like say something like braggadocious or whatever.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines of all time is because Ruth's Chris, you have to wear like a collared shirt, like there's a dress code.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines of all time is 2 Chainz saying, "I wear pajamas to Ruth's Chris."
Dude, and they let him in.
They let him do it. It's like, dang, what a great brag.
Hey, remember when that Lil Wayne album came out and I called the best song on the album? You didn't believe me.
No, it's just very easy to call out that was going to be the.
Hey, Kyle, do you remember the time he came in and said, I think Billie Eilish is going to be a star? Like he discovered her?
Yeah, because she was on Hot New Artists on your Apple Music.
She didn't even have an album yet. It was a bunch of little singles and EPs.
Oh.
I basically broke Billie Eilish. Wait, that sounds Okay.
What's next?
All right. I need another story to go in between this next story because that's not going to work. Well, now it's sufficiently quiet enough to where I can read this and no one's laughing. Jackson Mahomes the brother, obviously, of Patrick Mahomes, has been arrested on suspicion of aggravated sexual battery. According to Overland Park police, the incident stemmed from an accusation by the owner of an Overland Park restaurant, which he allegedly assaulted her and shoved a waiter in separate incidents. This happened back in late February. Video circulating online shows him, well, I won't say out loud what he's doing, but there's video. He's in trouble. And this is a kid that already was seemingly a little out of control and goofy and a drag on his brother. This is a whole different ball game. So stay tuned for that. All right.
He sucks.
Yeah, I don't like Jackson Mahomes at all. And obviously, I now absolutely despise the guy. Hey, today's National Montana Day. Anyone here been to Montana?
Shout out to Joe.
Yeah. Jason
I've been to Montana.
You've been to Montana?
I did.
Just
I
recently.
just went to Montana like a year ago.
Yeah? That's as nice as they say?
It was empty.
Was the sky just enormous?
Oh, it was beautiful. It was a big sky.
Big sky.
They should call it Big Sky Country.
Mm-hmm. National Raspberry Popover Day.
What?
What? I don't even know what.
Can you say that on the radio?
Yeah. Is a popover like a croissant or something?
Whoa, that looks like a.
Sounds like a Midwest pop
pizza roll.
That, as I said, that's a pizza roll that's been cooked for too long.
That actually looks like something completely different to me, and I'm not going to say it out loud. Today's
that's fun.
Today is National
Audio medium.
National Chocolate Custard Day, guys. Pudding, custard, or mousse?
Pudding.
Probably pudding. Although if you go to Culver's and get a concrete mix,
yeah, legit,
it's really good.
But pudding,
probably pudding.
How about flan?
Flan,
big flan guy.
Big flan guy.
Flan
The
DeLorean.
correct answer is mousse.
I knew you would dissent.
100%. No, this is the correct answer.
Why?
Is mousse.
And now for the portion of the program where he describes how to make a mousse.
It's just simple. You want to make a basic mousse?
Hey, you can tell the people in the room that have worked with you for a long time, can't you?
You take a chocolate pudding and fold in some Cool Whip. There's your mousse.
That's simple.
It's like pudding with whipped cream in it.
Okay.
Jason's not impressed.
You notice he said fold it in. You have to fold it in. You don't stir it.
David, fold the cheese.
Celebrity birthdays brought to you by Crumble Cookies, Jason Ross.
Yes, not the greatest of days, but we do
Gosh,
still
man.
celebrate
Wow,
those on
May has not been good so
May
far.
3rd. How about we start though with a great one?
I was like, there is a good one today.
Domantas Sabonis.
Yeah, how about that?
Oh,
I think you guys should get this one.
Yeah.
Really close.
Domantas Sabonis.
I got it.
Happy 20. Christ, it's gonna be one of the two. Happy 27th birthday to Domantas Sabonis.
26.
Is it me? Because I know the answer.
Yeah.
Oh, you do.
I saw the answer already. I will recuse
Alright,
myself.
you guys
He's
recused.
27. Good job.
He is 27. You're way off.
We'd been saying 26
Yeah,
all
right,
week, and I didn't know if that was he's
Yeah,
25 and he turns
preemptive.
26 in 4 days.
How
27.
about
what an
Entering his
idiot.
prime.
How about happy birthday to Christopher Cross?
Oh,
Ride like the wind.
Yeah,
R.I.P.?
Sailing. Yeah.
Between
No,
Rome
still with
and
us.
Chris
New
Cross?
York City.
Not that Chris
yeah.
Cross.
No, Christopher Cross.
Not
Oh.
jump, man.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
No, Chris Cross.
Christopher Cross.
Arthur's theme.
Yeah.
Christopher.
Arthur the Aardvark?
I will tell you this much. I don't know you well enough to know Chris. I know you. I promise you've heard at least one Christopher Cross song.
All right, is it not resonating right now?
Probably.
I have no idea.
I'm going to put the over under.
I got one.
I'm going to put the over under at 2.5 Christopher Cross songs that Kyle has heard before.
100% you know a song of his.
He's 80.
I'm
Wow.
going to say Christopher Cross is. Let's see.
Hold on, like when this comes on, whatever you listen to, you don't get hyped.
Sounds like Law and
Anchorman
Order.
2. It's the open Anchorman 2.
You may have to.
Oh, you want me to skip ahead?
Yeah, you may have to.
Long way to go.
Such a long way to go.
Take it to the border of Mexico. And I ride like the wind. Ride like the wind.
No?
No?
Wow. Okay.
What?
I don't even want to guess his birthday now.
I'm going to say he's actually 80 is a really good guess. I'm going to say he's 79.
77.
75?
I'm depressed now.
So am I.
72. Good job, Chris.
I nailed
Do
it.
you bring,
work,
up,
man.
do you bring up Arthur's theme while we keep going, please? Just
And I say, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. We can learn to run and play.
It just that song sounded like what I imagine the inside of a bar in Montana looks like.
Let's try this one.
To go.
Play stupid.
Whatever the soul of Mexico.
Sailing.
I mean, sailing would be the other one.
Barry St. Jean?
This sounds vaguely familiar.
I think they'll get.
Get me to the hook.
Yeah, I think they'll get it at the hook.
The other one was more prominent.
I think they'll get it at the hook, and I think they'll know sailing too.
Yeah. Okay. This one I've got. Yeah. Yeah.
Still no.
I don't know what I know it from. I'm sure it's.
So now you
Probably
would have
from a
guessed.
show or something.
Now you would have guessed 72.
Yeah, I would have nailed it.
Yeah. What was it, by the way?
72.
Oh, he's that young?
Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
Wow.
No.
That's his Breakfast Club.
Jeff Hornacek.
Oh, horny.
Nice. Oh, horny.
I'm out on Jeff Hornacek.
Just not going to guess his age.
I'm gonna say Jeff
Yeah.
Hornacek is
I'm out to go.
61.
I was gonna say 64.
60 even.
60 even is correct.
Hey,
Ty Lue.
Ty Lue.
Get stepped over.
Skip to my Lou's uncle.
Ty Lue. Ty Lue was my second most uncomfortable locker room experience.
Okay, we don't need to get into that. Let's guess the age.
I'm still thinking about Christopher Cross and the other stuff.
Did you fold it over?
I'll say Ty Lue
came
is
in at the wrong time.
50.
Ty Lue's 54.
49.
Yeah, since like 47.
46.
Wow.
Come on.
What a young
Did
man.
we play the music early or are we done?
Yeah, are we done?
We're done.
Oh, that's it? Wow, what a long break this is going to be. Do we
I
have
had a
time to?
great question for you guys that I didn't get to.
Oh, you didn't? Well, ask us anyways.
If you told De'Aaron Fox you could have Damian Lillard's career, would you take it?
Well, Kelly get weirded out by how into games you get because my girlfriend she's getting used to it. When I'm like, oh, that's not a foul.
Yeah.
That's okay. I guess that's not a foul.
Yeah.
All right.
I got to work on things.